better. So if it's not Malik and Idris, because Malik and Idris have been the tag team longer than Out the Mud, it's Out the Mud that's focused on getting those belts. And Scripps is going to play a powerful name into it because he's a person that's going to sit there and make deals with Ava, who's going to get the job done, is getting the name out there, who's going to make sure that if they even have to clean the locker room, he's going to set it up so that happens. So Scripps, I don't want people to count Scripps out just because I say he ain't doing enough. It was the first PLE they had. He probably wasn't scripted doing enough, but trust me, keep an eye on him. He's like Miss Jade is there to make sure that the women don't get involved. But
I agree with Dylan too.
Yeah. She too. She was real close to giving what's the name of run for her, like giving her a stack for her money. Because even that booty drop finisher she be doing, I'm like, that shit hurt. That's your rib cage, child. That's your rib cage.
That's a fact. So you want to get into the next one?
Yes, I think I think this might happen. I think this might even happen at Roadblock. Because Roadblock is March 5th.
Oh, okay, yeah. I need, if it comes to a street fight, if it comes to a death match, no, we don't do death matches in WWE. If it comes to a bull rope match, if it comes to a no holds bar, I need it to be a 1980s, 1990s styles match. Like, don't put these names on it. Excuse me. Don't put these names on it if you're not going to deliver and literally give us a street fight. Literally give us a brawl.
Give us a street fight.
Give us a street fight to where there is blood, to where there is literally you throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, the stove, the racks that's in the stove, because you know they still be warm, the burners, everything. Like, don't say street fight, don't say this and that if you're not giving us that, because it literally takes away from the match, because you're hoping to see one thing and then you don't.
You're right.
NXT, I really feel like it will be different because NXT has more free reign than WWE, SmackDown, and Raw.
I'm waiting for it. I need it. Krista. What if Scripps goes for the Heritage Cup? That's why I'm telling you, don't count my boy out. Don't count him out. Because 4-on-4. Don't count him out. Don't count him out. And I told y'all, Jada got the moves to back up her mouth. If she touches, I love it here. I'm so glad.
Right, I love it here. It's the best.
Dylan, you are the MVP. You are up next in this season episode. I don't care what anyone thinks, because that just look at that.
That's amazing. Dylan, sidebar. We're still waiting on our gifts from
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another jam-packed episode of Watch What Happens NXT. And of course, it would not be NXT Tuesday without your tippy-top honorary wrestling girl herself, Miss Ciendo B. Welcome back. I know you missed me last week. It was a lot of difficulties, probably the same difficulty that I just had about 2 seconds ago, but we gonna skip all that. It happens. This is in the world of technology and production. Hey, it happens. I want to thank all of you guys for coming back. I missed you. Last Tuesday was a little hectic for me. The snowstorm kind of got me down. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to deny that. But I'm here. I'm happy to be here with all of you that have already stepped into the chat, stepped in, say hi. I'm going to give a couple of people in the chat a shout out real quick. But before I do that, I want to also thank those wrestling girls for, as always, plugging me in, empowering me on Watch What Happens NXT. As you know, those wrestling girls, shout out to my girls, Krista B and Queen PR, already dropped some live episodes of their show on their YouTube channel. We're on every single streaming platform at this point. There's so much the girls got going on. I personally have today on lock with Watch What Happens NXT, but just to let you guys all know, you guys might be seeing a little extra link that was sent in, and that is because yours truly has started a Twitch channel. Yeah, I'm on Twitch. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm everywhere. I'm on X. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch now. Never gonna do an OnlyFans because I'm a child of God. But who knows? If the Christian community will start a Bible OnlyFans, I might do it. Who knows? Never say never in this world. Just like wrestling, you never say never. The girls got it on lock. Besides me, tomorrow, it's already another jam-packed episode of TWG Fan Club. with the three best friends that anybody could ever have. Miss Brian H. Waters is Justin Rich, and Queen PR herself. We all get into the clubhouse. We all act up. We all act the fool. Probably why I act like this the way I am now, because I'm used to that clubhouse, and I step into a different kind of clubhouse tonight. We also can't forget about schooling sessions with Miss Crispy, my other two homies, Chris Contradas and Pablo Dadon. That goes down on Friday at 4 o'clock. So if you need a rundown, if you need somebody to make a flyer, we taking donations, because all this Canva work costs a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. Your girl's tired. You could tell by this whole thing. It's a lot of graphic work going on. So if you just need a flyer for reference, we probably gonna hook that up. I'm gonna speak to my boss about getting that flyer done, because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that happened on NXT last week that I got to watch, and the week before that. And we got about, I want to say, a cool 2 hours before the next NXT comes out. Of course, we also got this weekend, the Elimination Chamber is happening in Perth. Shout out to every homie who's probably watching in on the chat here from Australia, from the Gold Coast. Shout out to y'all for finally getting the 8 o'clock pay-per-view and leaving us with the scraps at 5 o'clock in the morning over here. I'm on side of New York. That's a tough deal to get up that early and watch it. But you know what? Y'all could do it at 5 in the morning. I'm gonna do it at 5 in the morning. So that's how it's gonna work out. May live stream on a new Twitch. Who knows? We gonna see what happens. A lot of people in the comments I see have already showed up. If you are a Facebook user, this is very important. If you are a Facebook user, I am asking you politely to please leave your name in the comments when you leave in a comment. I know it doesn't link everybody as well, but we just want you to stay around as much as possible in the chat. What else we got going on? Hey, Patrick. Patrick was the first person, and I don't know, he's the first person in the NXT arena. I know we got Clubhouse and those people that are VIPs in the club, but he's the first person in the arena. So shout out to Patrick. Remy, welcome back. Welcome back. It's supposed to be from the hood. Oh, you probably responded to that clip that was on a couple of minutes ago. How you know they ain't flipping in the hood? How you know they ain't doing what they supposed to be doing in the hood? They out the mud. They out here doing anything. Can never say that. What else we got over here? Yeah, Jada Parker. We're gonna talk about it all. We're gonna talk about it all. Hey, best friend, I'm feeling better. I was also sick this weekend, so that's probably why I didn't see a lot of me on social media, because I was out. Whatever's floating around, swinging around, I was out for the count, y'all. So that's probably why y'all didn't see me. Who else got a Patrick? Yes, we're gonna talk about all of that. Hey, brother Hugh, shout out to you. Thank you for stepping in. Thank you for coming in. And there's so much more we gotta dive into. But first, before we dive into, I'm not alone this week. I actually have a special guest this week. This person was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and is a world traveled audio and visual production operator with 15 experience of content creation. 15. That's way more than me. I ain't been doing this long enough. Some of you may know him from his media brand, Gersh Digital Media, which is a highly gaming and wrestling. It's highly produced by him. He's a solo man, does all the work himself. The same nickname you can find on Gersh, you can find on YouTube, where he has a wrestling and media podcast called Gersh Oblis. I'm sorry, honey, I don't have sound effects yet. We ain't get that far into production. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest for Watch What Happens NXT.
You don't have sound effects?
No,
I do.
You want to use them? I'm jealous. I'm jealous. What's going on, baby cakes? See, every time I get into your section on your show, you always call me like a nickname. And I don't have a nickname for you. You do give me a different nickname. So what should I call you now that the tables have turned?
You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me Jonathan.
Oh no, Jesus Christ. People call you Jonathan?
Yes, because we have the same last name.
How rude.
Even though he's darker than me, but I digress.
Any relation?
I don't know. I still don't know. I like the people who I knew are no longer with us. God rest their souls. But I don't know.
Listen, I have a promo code for 23andMe if you need it. I'm just putting that out there.
I need to find out. I need to find out. Like,
if you want to do a quick swab, you can do that. You know,
I might have to take an ancestor and be like, hey, that's how we're gonna find out. Because my God, and it's like I always laugh when people assume that just because I use that last name, I'm trying to be this person. I'm not y'all. I don't cosplay. I'm me.
You're you. You're you, and I'm me.
Exactly. Like I don't do the gimmicks. I don't play around with the whole, oh, I'm Jonathan Gresham online, but I'm really playing somebody. No, this is Joshua Gresham. Joshua Gresham.
But you know what's crazy? I think some people just dig for like something. Like, you know, in our community, they always want to be in the know. Everybody a journalist, but don't have journalism credibilism. So I think they probably like, if you were to say you were related, next thing you know, the diction like, oh, you got a cousin that's on podcasting, y'all. Like, we got.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the main reasons why I retired from Spaces. Because somebody actually quoted me and assumed that I was Jonathan. I'm like, oh, absolutely not.
You know what's crazy? The only space, and shout out to them, that I go to, like literally I will sit in, is Turnbuckle Talk with Black Wrestling. Those are the only space I will literally like sit there and listen. Shout out to them because they go on at 6:35 on a Black Wrestling Twitter. I literally don't listen to them. Most of it's because of Justin. 90% of it's because of Justin and Mimi and Corey, because I love them to bits. The rest of it is just like they speak logic in their space.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Like a lot of the spaces on there are either follow bots or they just speak in like friend shit. And I'm like, I'm not gonna dive into other people's friend shit. After a while, it's like it's background noise, and I just turn it off.
I started as me. I'm gonna end as me. Like that's the reason why I tried to dip my toes into being friends with everybody. Nah, I'm good.
This is why you on the show, because you like this. Like I think you and I had the conversation. Like I'm not a browner, so I'm just like me naturally. Like if you go,
I tried it. Like Nikki, Nikki Bushi. I had her on my show. I had her on my show, and I was telling her
right here.
And I was telling her when we met, you actually see it. She told you, she was like, Gresh last year was a villain, and I went through a metamorphosis to where it's like I'm still a villain in real life, but online it's strictly business.
Oh yeah,
nah. But yeah, let's talk. Yeah.
I also want to end it with saying it's sad that sometimes you gotta be like that, but sometimes it's like protect my peace or have no peace at all, you know?
Protect your peace. And it's like so much loss and change in my life recently to where it's like I don't have time before people hate me. So that's why I always tell people, if you feel like somebody hates you or hating on you, ask yourself why you care.
I like that. We're gonna go forward with that. We're going to this. So, Mr. Gresh No Relation, what do we want to talk about? There's so much to talk about.
Sound like Cody Luther neck tattoo.
It sounds like. Shout out to people getting them neck tattoos, because that couldn't be me. Like I got one regret tattoo, and it's the only tattoo I have, and I got it to impress this dumbass guy I was dating.
Oh Lord.
And then my father didn't talk to me for like a full week because of said tattoo.
Oh no.
So I had to make up this BS excuse that it was for family, when really it was to impress this dumbass guy. But
oh no.
We're gonna build around it. That's all we could do is move forward, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm strategic.
I regret nothing, but I learned for everything.
I'm strategic with my tattoos. Like I started off with a rose, my mom's name right here. And I'm finna actually build onto it full sleeve. But every tattoo that I build is gonna make sense in a way. So
nice.
I just gotta get somebody to draw it.
We might have to I don't know. We might have to.
Me and you might have to get a tattoo.
Link. Are you coming to are we coming to Philly? Like what's going on?
That is the goal. Yes,
That's
I can tell you, it is 90%. It is 80% paid for.
I'm at like 60. You better than me, because I have a social battery that runs out very quickly, so we don't even know if Sunday's on the marquee.
The beauty behind it is, it's like I got it set up to where me and Highlight gonna get into some stuff with Wale Mania and all that stuff, but we're not gonna get involved with everything. We're gonna be like, all right, bro.
It's a lot.
We're like, all right, bro, we're done.
It's a lot. And then they just slammed that world thing on there, and they're like, oh, it's opportunity for content creators. And I'm like, that might be the only thing I do outside of Wale Mania, because you got to go to everybody else's thing. And then some of you guys are having wrestling shows at midnight. Shout out to y'all that are doing that. We're gonna see about all that.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see when we get there.
Then again, I'm a nut job, and I might actually go. So who knows?
I might just mess around and stock up on some Red Bull and just be like, "Yep, let's do it," and pay for it later.
I know a guy who has Prime, who gets Prime. It's not bad. Really?
I tried it. I think I probably need to try another flavor. I tried the orange one. I said, "This is the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life," and I believe I drunk another energy drink that was worse. So my go-to is Red Bull and Ghost. So
not bad.
I will have to try Prime at least one more time, just not the orange one.
It's not bad.
The bottle is still in my house. I just said, I think I wrote on it, do not buy ever again. And I just put it there so I can remind myself not to waste my money on this. So yeah. I might need another flavor before I make a final decision on never drinking Prime again. So
I'm gonna ask Justin, and then we're gonna help you out.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone in the chat said the Ice Pop Prime is good to me. I've seen the Ice Pop. I gotta try it. What up, Vaughn? I see you.
What up, Vaughn? Hi, honey. Gotta ask him too, because he probably knows some good flavors.
Yeah, Vaughn.
We're talking Prime flavors, Vaughn. If you
drinks.
know of any drinks, energy drinks. I'm full of energy. I don't need any of that. I don't know.
Nah,
but
I need it sometimes.
So you're the guest.
You.
What do we want to start off with? Because so much happened.
We talking NXT, right?
Yes, we are.
Let's start off with Dijak trying to kill Joe Gacy.
Ciao. Listen. I don't know what's going on with, because let me find this. Hold on. I think I got the graphics. I don't know what's going at from left, right to center foot. Like, I don't. So let's just dive into Mello versus Joe Gacy. We can dive into that first.
Yeah.
So we can bring that up. You have Joe Gacy getting into, Carmelo Hayes' business per usual, and they end up having a one-on-one match last week. We already know. Week before, Carmelo said, say hello to the bad guy, like Jay-Z said in American Gangsta, basically saying, listen, all of you made me this way, it's your fault, why? And then, blaming, basically taking no accountability and just saying that, listen, you were supposed to be the wingman and I whooped that trick. So all of you are going to watch me get my title back, which is the NXT championship. And he said, basically, y'all gonna watch me get my title back, and then we're gonna show you who's really him. So now he's in this villain era. Joe Gacy doesn't need to explain anything. Joe Gacy's like, oh, this sounds like fun. How can I get in on this? So he's basically being HBK with the tight leather minus the pelvic thrusting, because that was a whole different type of, Shawn Michaels back then. Black shades are back, fur coat's back, villains back, but they had a really good one-on-one. A lot of high flying. We always expect some type of agility from Joe Gacy. That's never missed by Mello in the matchup. But also, we can't forget that Dijak thought he had ridded himself of the Gacy problem. Turns out he had not. Gacy's gonna be Gacy. I think Gacy's just living for the thrill of just fucking with everybody, because now he ain't got nobody to control. He doesn't have. He's getting out of the cult. He's trying to find himself. But I think his job is to just be a menace. And be crazy, and Dijak kind of fed him with that. He shows up after the match with a stray jacket and restrains Joe Gacy, who laughs the entire time. So Gersh, can the animal and Joe Gacy be tamed, or are we just looking at more madness tonight going into NXT?
This will never end until somebody dies. I'm still Lance Archer's gimmick. He's not using it really. Yeah, everybody dies at some point because this man is getting thrown off of what tractor trailers. He's getting dumped in water. They're hacking each other's social media accounts.
Is that what happened?
Yes. So the gimmick is what they're doing now is Dijak kidnapped Joe Gacy, but Joe Gacy took Dijak's phone, so he's been tweeting from Dijak's phone. And then he closed it out by saying Joe Gacy just went for a swim. I'm like, so you just threw him in the water?
Well, we'll find out what's going on
tonight,
because he might have found a padded room somewhere and literally lock homeboy in there. But then knowing Joe Gacy and how we talked about how crazy he is, Joe Gacy might just end up like, I don't know, might end up freaking chewing his way out the padded room. I don't know. Something to happen some way, somehow. Like, it's just giving, like, we're underestimating Joe Gacy. He's a lot smarter than we think he is. That's what that's given. Like, he's a lot smarter than we're giving him credit for.
Oh, he's smart.
That's what's happening here, yeah.
I never understood the Bray Wyatt comparisons, though. Do you? Or do you see it?
People automatically assume that crazy means like Bray Wyatt and even though the artist formerly known as Dean Ambrose, because that's what they're used to, that's what they're spoiled by. But I don't see that here. I just see somebody. I see Mankind. Yes, that's what I see more than anything.
Like
I see like a slow burn.
Yeah, like he's chaotic to the point where you're going to like, because at one point I was confused with what they was doing with him, but it's like to me, Dijak immediately everybody is Dijak's ops to the point where he wakes up and hates everybody.
He was beefing with he was like beefing with the Native Americans at one point. Yeah, he's beefing with Wes Lee. Now he's still bothering Ilya Dragunov. Like him and I feel like Rich Holland are in the same boat where I don't know if they know what they want. I think they're just focused on one thing, but the niggas kept in the mishap of other things as well.
Yeah. It's like, and it's like I have to explain to people when they ask me what's going on. I'm like, you have to consume certain NXT product as like they're just trying to see what's work and what doesn't. Because Joe Gacy's character now is 10 times worse than what it was last year.
You weren't feeling Skims and all that. You weren't feeling them.
The Schism?
Schism. Yeah, I can't even say their name. Schism.
The Schism. No. But at the same time, I didn't hate it. I don't know why. It's like it was just like, oh, this is there. I'm not gonna. One thing about me is how I consume NXT, I don't hate anything. I just I'll be like, oh, it's there. And then I'll be like, oh, I like that. So I pretty much praise more what I like than, and then I'll be like, my default is, oh, that was there. The Schism was there.
Right.
And like, it didn't take away, like nothing on this show takes away from me. I can consume all of it and be like, oh, okay, that was another solid episode of NXT. But
if you haven't watched, go ahead.
No, what you go
ahead, hon. Oh, no, I was gonna compare to something else, but I'm gonna let that simmer. I want to
hear that. I want to hear that.
It gives me. I've been watching a lot of Stampede Wrestling, and I've been watching a lot of old NWA, and it's kind of more like it's giving me more Stampede Wrestling a little bit, to where you had enough characters and not too much of a dive in the storyline. But I say a little bit because they keep their storylines consistent, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's one thing I can appreciate about NXT is that it's a lot coming at you fast, but it's still like it flows. Like nothing hits you to where it's like, oh my god, what is happening? It's more so it's like, oh, okay, that they have a way of making it all tie together. So that's why I'm like, that's what I mean by when I'm like nothing. I can't hate nothing on NXT. It's more so like, oh, that was great, or that was cool, but that was there. But I don't hate it. So Joe Gacy, that's what I'm saying. It's better now because it's like I've just written Joe Gacy off as he's just a dude who just loves pain. He loves violence. He loves to get hit.
That's what I'm thinking.
He just loves pain. Like that's all I say. Because he's getting hit in the head with a nightstick, and he just like he's smiling like, bro, what is happening?
He was smiling the whole time.
He was getting dragged to the back.
To the back. Like what? That's what he's giving. He's giving misery. He really is. But I kind of like this. I like him by himself.
That's what I'm saying. I like this more than I liked Schism. So
Schism
it's like, that's
gave me Ava.
I don't know how to even explain Ava. As far as I feel like she's finding herself now as compared to, like, I don't know what they was trying to do. I just couldn't comprehend what they was trying to do with her when she was in Schism. It just felt like she was just there to be creepy. And that's why I always, and that's how the joke with me whenever when The Rock got mad at Cody for mentioning his grandfather. I'm like, your daughter was in a cult for a year and you said nothing. but as soon as he said something about your grandfather, that's when you want to slap somebody.
You want to slap somebody? Like, where were you when she was sitting here talking about they were trying to define her, what she was trying to be? My guy. My guy.
Priorities,
my dude. Like, she had one red eye. You weren't concerned? That wasn't a call for concern? No? Okay.
So you saw the red eye at Thanksgiving and you just said, oh, that's normal.
She's being herself.
But nah, and that's the thing. Like, and that's how I choose to digest NXT. Some things work, some things doesn't work.
That too. Give it a take. Shout out to the boss herself for being in the chat. Patricia, Queen PR, love you, boo. If you're trying to donate to the super chat, I rerun these episodes every Wednesday on YouTube going forward. Girls trying to get her watch hours up, and a lot of people have been tuning into the reel. Shout out to everybody who's like the reel, share the reel. Shout out to everybody who's filling the comments about the North American Championship. But yeah, donate to Those Wrestling Girls super chat. If you're on the Those Wrestling Girls YouTube page, you're giving it to the super chat. Give it to the super chat because we can't be skinny. We gotta eat in Philly. You heard?
They can't be built like me. I'm a stick.
We can't listen.
I'm a
we
fit
need
stick.
food at the end of the day. We need cheesesteak. We need cheesesteaks, and
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna budget so I can at least eat unhealthy for a week.
I said it in Fan Club. Don't ask me to go to Max. I'm not going with you to Max Steakhouse. That's in the hood. Would not be doing that. They protect themselves well over there. I protect myself well on the other side. Find me a conventional center. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Even though I'm gonna definitely be strapped, so we're just gonna put that out there.
I like that. Speaking of straps, let's see. What else can we get into? This is gonna be a fun episode. I'm going to dive in a little bit into Melo before we go forward. Like I said,
let's dive into let me restore the order of us light-skinned folks because he's been giving us a bad name.
Listen, I already said I can't look at a light-skinned guy with braids and a leather coat no more.
Jesus Christ. Man,
I meant that.
I can't even wear my locks the way that I want to because of this name. Man. Come on, man. Jeez.
I meant that, but then again, like, I'm a female and I love fashion. So if you walk out looking like that, you feel me? It shit happens. I can't tell a lie. Especially if you're rocking Chalkline, because Chalkline had a sale and now your girl in trouble. Because I bought somebody I bought somebody's birthday gift, my WrestleMania drip, my, for the culture drip. I done bought all the drip in the world. I'm dripped out. But if I see a brother wearing a Chalkline jacket, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. Might find something at Wally Mania this weekend. Who knows?
You've individually been chopped and screwed. screw, chop, chop.
Let's not think about T-Pain right now. Let's talk about Melo. Trick Melo game is done. We've warned them. Porter went out for the homies. Let me finish this. So he went out there. He went out there and he basically said Actually, I am still mad at him because he went and played Whoop That Trick, and I got up and I twerked, and then he didn't come out. So I had to sit my black ass back down, and I was like, I done wasted the best twerk I had that the people would have wanted to see. I wasted it because they didn't come out. So he was like, he's probably he said he was like, he's not here. He's laid up in the hospital with Booker and that dumbass song. And he's just like, he was like, that's how I'm gonna be the bad guy. So now he's the bad guy. He said, y'all made me this way. He was supposed to go for the title that I already had. I'm supposed to get back what's mine. You tried to elevate me. You try to be above me. And even when I tried to get the tag team titles, you said it wasn't good enough. So you brought this on you. You made me this way. I whooped that trick because I had to. You're my hype man. You're nothing more of it. So what do we think is going to happen now? Or do you think something unlikely is about to happen with Carmelo and his search for getting the getting the NXT championship back? Because I have an interesting theory. Okay. And I don't say booking. I say theory because a lot of people like to book their matches. I'm not doing that. But I do have a strong theory about what's about to happen. So
I feel like I don't know how to say this without fantasy booking because that's my whole shtick on my main YouTube channel. But as far as like I have a from what they're telling us is Melo is envious of Trick breaking out of his shadow. Because at one point we were writing him, well, not me, but people were writing him off as strictly Melo's hype man. Yeah, and he got the catchy theme song. The crowd was like, whoop that trick. And it just blew up and it got a life of its own. I actually, the way that they're having this set up, I feel like they're setting it up to where it's going to be Trick versus Melo at Mania weekend. Like, no doubt in my mind, that's what they're doing. But I have this feeling where I feel like this is going to be where Melo, it's going to be Melo's swan song. So this is just literally two former best friends. Both of them were popular. One outgrew the other, and the other one is envious. Similar to what they're doing with the Usos. They're brothers. One is more popular than the other. And you're going to have the jealous one that is there. He's like, no matter how big you get, you will always be my little brother, or you will always be my favorite number two.
Yeah. And it was like, even in the way that he said it, it was like more of like I'm trying to, like, he kind of manipulated the crowd a little bit. Like, it wasn't in the form of like too much of him accusing Trick, but even in the language of it, it was more of a like, you messed up. Like, he blamed him for messing up a great thing. You know what I mean? And that was an interesting way to do it. And nobody can really pull a promo like that.
I figured that was the way they was going to go when he was after the turn. He was like, "You made me this way. It's your fault. It's your fault."
You know what's funny?
What's that?
When he said you were in his before he turned on him at Vengeance Day, I was like, oh yeah, they're about to go into the angle of somebody didn't stay in their place, and that's the ultimate. That's like the real heel thing to do, in my opinion. Like, that's really the most heel thing you could do is, you were supposed to be this way and you wanted to change shit up, so now I have to do what I gotta do.
So I took you out. I took you out with the steel chair. While they found you, I left the chair there for some reason. Right. So I'm gonna have a fit, snatch it to throw away the evidence, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna use the chair to take that same knee out."
It's crazy.
But it's like, it makes sense. So that's why I'm not mad at it. Because it's like,
it does.
It's like,
it works out too.
Bro, we had this good thing going. Like, yeah, you had the North American title, but you lost that just like within a day or two.
Which that wasn't his circumstance, because remember, he told him he was going to go out and that was another thing too, how I knew he was going to turn that, because every time Trick had the opportunity to have his boy by his side, it was literally like, no, I want to do it alone. No, I want to do it alone. So now you kind of have like a Homelander type build up to the frustration. Like I tried to be young wingman at one point, and you didn't want me there. Like everything was, oh, I gotta do it on my own. Even though it's been Trick Mellow Gang since day one, we ain't been doing it on our own. I've had you by my side. So in the sense of like, you literally changed everything up. He was right in his promo. Don't mean how he did it was right.
Yeah,
that makes any sense. But
it makes sense. That's what like. It's not. It's just a case of a light-skinned man that's just jealous of the dark-skinned brother. That's all that is.
Who wasted my good twerk. Like Dylan said.
It makes sense. It's like my only gripe with how they got here was the involvement of Ridge. That was my only gripe because it felt like I'm like, oh, you're just prolonging this.
Right, but they prolonged it in a good way.
Yeah,
it needed to end. It needed to end at that pay-per-view, and it didn't need to go anywhere forward because we kind of like. I thought it would end at. To be fair, I thought it was going to be done at Deadline. But I think once they,
if not Deadline, I thought it was going to be done at New Year's Evil.
But then when it didn't have the match, I was like, knew it. Shout out to Brian Hollywood, what is in the building. But I knew it wasn't gonna go down that way when they saw how excited people were for him to win that Deadline challenge. I was like, all right, they ain't gonna do that tonight. Like they wouldn't do that to Melo tonight. It'd be too early. That was perfect. So my theory is that we do see Trick come back, if not at Roadblock, before Roadblock.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I think it's gonna. I'm pretty 90% sure it's gonna be Ilya versus Melo, which is gonna be one of the best last of a great series between the two of them. Because every time they literally get into a match, it's like gladiators fighting in a coliseum. I love watching the two of them. But I don't think Trick interferes. I think he either does it before or after. And I think that's how we get a stand deliver. I don't think it's going to be for that championship, though. I think what Trick needs to do is do it without Melo, without outfit interference. I think he's fully capable of doing it himself.
Oh, that match.
I think him literally, I think we'll probably end up getting a round 2 with him and whoever becomes championship down the line, because he proved himself. Like for him to have 2 matches back to back and leave it all out on the floor the way he did, blood and everything. There's no way they're not going to give him the championship. Just can't be with Melo being there.
Oh yeah, for sure. That like they got, and I feel like this will be Melo's swan song. It's him putting Trick over.
1000%. The slander is always going to be there, Keith. I'm sorry, he's in the chant.
Hey man, I'm light skinned, so I can give the slander. I'm light skinned. I can slander my own kind. I can talk about my own people.
You can talk about your own kind. Damn, you ain't even gonna stick up for your brethren. That's what you're trying to tell me.
Nope.
Dang. Real quick, gonna dive into, speaking of light skins, I'm gonna do a quick rundown of all the matches that happened. You had Ridge Holland versus Olive Gallus. They had a gauntlet match, which is interesting. I do want to talk about that a little bit. Because I'm still interested in what they're doing with this redemption song. Shout out to Bob Marley. That they're trying to do for your boy Ridge. It's so good.
Okay, I still gotta see that. Yeah. That's like number 20 on my 20 movies that I gotta watch, because I just got around to watching Dune. And that came out years ago.
Jeez. Yeah, we gonna talk.
So like I'm behind on a lot of movies.
We see that now.
Don't even get me started on the TV shows. I still ain't watched TV show from 2019.
Dang, brother. No, you know what I just finished, like in its entirety?
Yeah.
Don't judge me. I just finished The Wire. Don't judge me.
You ready to judge? I haven't seen one episode.
What?
And you know,
I blame in this since it's all BP.
Repeat that. Your internet just glitched. We live. We live.
Okay, I'm back. My apologies.
All right, we're good.
I live in the hood. My bad. But I was saying about I was saying about that. The reason why I had to watch that was because somebody said they hadn't been this heartbroken ever since they saw Michael B. Jordan pee himself in a warehouse with his homie pointing a gun. And I was like, what is everybody talking about? And I found out what show it was. So and I was like, oh, this is a good show. And then it turned into a whole sick weekend of me watching a lot of crazy stuff happen in Baltimore. But that's a whole different topic for a whole different show. But yeah, I literally had to. Yeah, I was frozen. My apologies, guys. I literally had to watch that all again because I was like, a lot of backstab happened. I'm used to Juice. Like I'm used to like the Juice format. That's what I feel like happened. Love Pac, but that happened. You know. What else can we dive into? Want to dive into Rich Holland? We also have we also have the fact that like Lola Vice is redeeming herself from losing that shit broke my heart. So we gotta dive into that. Lola Vice losing her her chance at the NXT Women's Championship because of a lot of outside interference and Tatum Paxton. We also have Roxanne reacting to that, like everybody getting a chance except her, and she loses it. We have so much. We don't talk about Miss Park, of course, everybody's favorite resident, new favorite girl. My favorite girl, I should say that. I should stop projecting. I love her. A lot of segments happen. So much going on. So I'm gonna play a quick video. All right. And we're gonna give you some time to shake off the light skin hate that I had to throw at you. My apologies for that. And we're gonna be right back. The first NIL planning to be an NXT champion, which is the NXT North American Championship. He was the first breakout tournament star from the NIL to win the breakout tournament. And a lot of people thought he was definitely going to wait in the cups for the NXT champion. But listen, greatness waits for no one. When an open opportunity comes, it comes. If Lexis King could sit here and go on WordPad and create that dumbass contract, because who the hell put him in the number one contendership in the first place?
Not even Microsoft Word.
He tried it. Notepad. He tried it. Like, how you going to try and do that? And it's like it's just a part of him being a menace. But what I liked, right, was that Obafemi was trying to make himself known, and Lexis came out, blame you. You should have never cut the man off. Because now he's watching. And now he's saying that the minute that, and it's funny, because the minute that he asks homegirl, that championship is the main event for the night. I already knew in his brain, because you know, that's the brother. We're going to dive into that too, because their matches tonight. That's how I have to play. We actually, I don't know if I agree with that. You know, that's crazy. Because it's just, yeah. I mean, but then again, I've been to an African soccer game. So when Black Panther came out and he was like, Hosa Yahoo, I was like, holy shit, I feel like I'm back on the soccer field for like another Nigerian versus Ghana soccer game, because that's all they do during the game. They don't watch, they just cheer and make like tribal chants, which I live for 1000%. But I'm just like so used to that being a thing. So just to dive into this real quick, with Lexis King basically saying like, listen, basically Oba didn't have to defend his title, had successfully defended the title a couple of days ago at Vengeance Day against Dragon Lee, and basically went in the ring and was like, all right, now I'm getting tired, like I need more people to come into the ring and think they can overpower me, even though I know they can't. That led to Lexis King coming out and basically saying, you know, speaking of how you got that belt, I'm your reason. Like, I'm the guy. Why you standing here and you're the ruler? That's on me. That led to Oba basically saying, like, listen, You think you can step in the ring with me? That's cute, but I guarantee you it's not something you want to threaten me with. And I promise you it's not going to be easy. And Lex is like, great, I'm not promising you, it's a fact. It needs to happen. I know I can take it from you. So now tonight, we have that match going up. But I want to dive into this promo for a second because Les is king, man.
I like his gimmick is the fact that he just likes to mess around and find out.
Do you?
That's no, that's sarcastic. I don't like the guy at all, but I'm just saying, like I still can't get into Lexus King and stuff. But I'm like, but the character that they're trying to get him to portray is he's the type of guy that finds out after he messes around.
But he doesn't have he doesn't have bad matches, because I think I enjoyed his match with Carmelo at Deadline, and I enjoyed his debut match.
I enjoyed it because of Carmelo, not because of him.
Ooh.
That's just me. And it's like I love it when people assume that I'm hating because it's a gimmick. It's like, no, I just can't get into him. I couldn't get into him when he was Brian Pillman Jr. in AEW. I just can't get into him now. So it's more so like I'm gonna give him a chance because he's on the show that I watch. But it's just more so like it's something, and it's like I'm not even dismissing him. It's more so like when that happens, I'll let you know, like, okay, he's won me over. But for now, it's just like,
I thought he was lost at first, and I'm starting to realize he's not lost at all. He's
a clout chaser. That's his gimmick.
Yeah.
His gimmick is a clout chaser.
Yeah. Some what's the name says he gives him Tiger Joe vibes.
He looks like him too.
He does. But I think that's what it is. I think it's just that wherever the moment is, I'm gonna be there type gimmick. Cloud chasing. All he needs to do is pull up in a BMW and put on some Arabic cologne. He could be Persian. Let's keep it one stack. Like he could. Like if he went with that gimmick, I would have been fine. Like he's trying to defy so far from being his father's gimmick that I know it must irritate the hell out of him in interviews where they ask him, like, oh, your father was this and your father was that. I'm like, y'all realize my father died. He only helped me like 16 times. Like, unfortunately, my father wasn't here. I only know what I see my father in tapes and what people tell me. And
see, that I can relate to.
Yeah, and he's trying to navigate this business without any of that reference, but people just keep.
Oh yeah, and I didn't even grow up with Brian Pillman Jr. He died before I even got into wrestling. Like I think he died 98. He died in 98, I believe. See, and I didn't start watching wrestling until like 99, 2000.
Yeah, so see, we were still mourning like Biggie and Pac, so I wouldn't know Brian Pillman. I wasn't watching wrestling in that time either, so
I don't think I only know him what I've seen. Documentaries.
Right, or what I've seen in old school, like when you hear of awesome or crazy things that happened on Raw, you hear about the segment with him and him going crazy and stuff like that. That's it. I don't know anything else of him, so I'm interested in seeing who Lexus King is without them bringing up that reference.
Because I always tell people assume that when I say I don't like something, I'm dismissing it. I'm like, no, I just don't like it, but I'm open. I'm all because it's wrestling. I'm open to eventually liking it. The reason why I say that, I can use this as an example. I didn't like Braun Breaker at one point when he first came on, but then as soon as he turned heel, I'm like, that's my boy.
Yo, that first episode, I'm not gonna hold you. That first episode, I just recently like went back to watch it, and he was just so baby faced with them tights, and I was like, and the first thing that came out my mouth, which is something that I know should have never came out my mouth, I was like, oh, look at him, he's so cute, and I'm like, I see why now he's an asshole, because that's probably not what he was going for. It just came spat right out my mouth, like, he's so cute. No,
how precious.
Like, why did I just do that to that poor boy? That's probably why he said, I don't care what you rednecks thinking, blah, blah. Like, that's probably why he acting the way he acting right now.
That's probably why he's different on the main roster than when he is on NXT, because he's like, main roster, they don't care. But the NXT, they love to, yeah, I get it. But
you see what I mean?
But yeah, I'm good at like knowing where, like, I can give credit where credit's due. Lexus King from NXT compared to AEW, night and day. Now I just need them to give him something to get me invested.
Because that Varsity Blonde shit was not it, dude. Like,
Julia Hart being the star of that entire trio is hilarious to this day.
Yep, she's holding her own too right now,
But she was supposed to be the side character. Now she's a main character in her own stable,
which I like. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that
but
way.
as far as with this promo with Oba, you skimmed over that part. I loved it when he was like, "Send anyone you want to face me, but don't send anyone you want back." And then as soon as they said that, that's when Lexus came. I'm like, so they don't want Lexus came back, is what you're telling me.
Yo, every time, and I have to, and it's not to clown my African brothers and sisters, but when Africans want to explain something to you, they will give you a full-blown haiku into the issue. Like when they have a problem with somebody and you tell them, "Oh, are you talking to that person?" Instead of telling that person, "Oh, I don't talk to that person anymore," you be like, "That person is like the wind and dust. It went." Like it's that type, but that's what that promo gave me. It went away. That person is like dust in the wind. It is blown away. Like just say the person's not here. Like
that's how he dismissed Dragon Lee.
That's how he dismissed Dragon Lee.
You're done. You're in the wind. Go that way. I am over you.
Like,
my apologies if my accent is offensive.
It's okay. You're close enough. I'm an African, so you're not offending me. You right. But literally, it's like that. Like, dude, just tell us you beat him. That's it. Like, just tell us.
He just went in a long-winded way. Said I defeated him. He's like, bro, you are dust in the wind. You are.
But
done.
you know what? Though I like it.
I believe it.
People are like, I believe it because most people are like, this person, get your ass out here, and then just throw the mic. He was like, I'm gonna give you a haiku. Send anybody you want, but don't expect me to send them back. Like, damn. Back. Okay.
And I love that brother. Sean said, "Go ahead, Lexus. We don't want you back. We want you to die."
He was like, "Lexus, nobody likes you. Here you go. Boom.
Go out there.
You want to make up contracts without me? Here you go. You want to do my job? You do." Like Ava was like, "Since you want to make up contracts, brother, you got it. Bye. We'll see you when we see you." Feel me?
And I love it. I love it when I be live tweeting NXT. People don't know what I'm talking about because. Keep in mind, my Twitter isn't strictly wrestling Twitter. I have non-wrestling fans follow me too. So I'm in the
same boat.
So I'll be like, damn, you know how horrible you got to be for someone who was in a cult to be creeped out by you? And they thought I was talking about somebody else. I'm like, no, I'm just talking about Lexus King and Dave.
And they like, what are we talking about here, dude? Like, what are we doing?
They'd be like, what are we doing? What are you talking about? Who's in the cult? I'm like, oh my God. My bad. I'm talking wrestling. Like, so I have to tell people between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. I'm talking wrestling.
You're not anything you're talking before that completely different. Like people be like, "Oh, you're doing skincare," and then I'd be like, "Yeah," and then they'd be like, "Wait, you're doing wrestling podcast now?" I'm like, "Yeah, kind of bored. Bear with me." Like, but I love NXT, so we're just gonna keep this going. What else can we get into real quick? But let's see what happens tonight. Let's see if he can get crushed to dust.
Oh, he will.
Because that's what Oba said the first time. I will crush to dust. He's like, I will crush to dust.
What is his Twitter? Nigerian Thanos?
Yes. Yo, but I'm here for it because listen, that slap in Braun Breaker's spear is right up there with my eardrum. So the way I heard people's bodies hit the mat with Braun Breaker's spear, and the way I'm gonna hear that slap as Stand and Deliver, same. They're in the same wavelength. Same wavelength. I'm sorry. Speaking of which, we're gonna dive into Tatum's her web. She got a web going on. I call it her spun web. She had a match. She got into somebody else's web, which was Lola Vice's web, and she had a match with Lola Vice last week. And I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Homegirl got her ass handed to her. I just put it.
There's no other way to put it. Yeah,
there's no other way to put it. Like, it's Lola Vice. Like, you're talking about somebody with an MMA background and a whole lot of flavor and Cuban. Like, you put those in a pot and you have the perfect arch nemesis for a spice.
And she from Miami?
Powerpuff Girl.
Oh, Lord.
Child, that's a villain for a Powerpuff Girl just waiting to be put in a pot and put on heat and left simmered for 30 minutes. Like, for me, Lola Vice is one of those girls that's left with the it factor. So you can never hear anything. You can never hear me say anything wrong about her, per se. I'm always gonna be Team Vice. I just think the way that they did that cash in on her.
Oh my god. Oh.
I just didn't like that.
They made her look so stupid.
It really did.
And I hate to say that. Like,
shout out to my brother in the chat. I want to know how my brother feels about Lola Vice. He's probably gonna have to search her a little bit, but I want to hear how he feels about her. But
if you search her, all you're gonna see is twerk.
wait, nothing wrong with that. No, it's funny because when I googled her, I found her match that CM Punk had actually like commented. She did like CFMMA, which is like the step up to if you want to be an actual UFC like title holder, you go on that show first. And she actually had a legit record, like, but she's one of those girls that's like, listen, I could do it all, I could spin in her, and a rumor has it her sister is even interested in being in WWE. They're both models. So I mean, I would never doubt anybody for doing what they want to do. It's life. You do what you can, you do what you want. However, do we see her now being a champion? Also, Lyra needs to pick whether she's in and out. Do we think Lyra's in to help Tatum, or do we think Lyra's out?
I think she's warming up to Tatum, and that might end up biting her in the butt. Because it's like part of me sees Tatum going the Mickie James, Trish Stratus route, but another part of me feel like they're going to put a modern twist on it. Like she's obsessed with this feather, and it's going to eventually her new obsession. Yeah, her new obsession will be that title.
But I like that though. You know what that gives me vibes of? And I don't want to say that it compares me to. It gives me vibes of AJ Lee. Remember when AJ Lee won her title, and she would kiss it and hug it, and she wasn't taking no Instagram pictures sleeping with it, but it was her baby. No one could take her baby away from her, and that's how you're supposed to appreciate your title. With Lyra, I feel like with this title run, it's all about y'all counted me out and I counted me in, and I'm gonna prove why y'all should have never counted me out. That's the vibe I get from Lyra holding this title.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like it's more to prove like I'm not just that little Irish girl that didn't make it on NXT. Like I'm a warrior. Like I'm worth the representation of what a strong woman is, and that's all it's been. And Tatum's a distraction because Lyra's had nothing to do but worry about herself. Now she finds herself worrying about somebody who's always worried about her. And we don't know where that's gonna go.
That's the fun. That's what's keeping me intrigued, because it's like I don't know where they're going with this.
Yeah.
That's a good way to explain it. Because for the longest I could not understand what they were doing. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you so obsessed? Why are you so obsessed with me? Well, yeah, I was just.
That's like Mean Girls. Like, you know what? It's not my fault. You're like in love with me or something. Like that's what it gives. That's what it gives. It's not my fault. You're like in love with me or something. Like that's what it gives. And I'm just like, I don't know how. I don't know, man. Like in all complete honesty, I think Tatum's gonna go for that title and miss.
Oh, for sure. And that's gonna reveal her true. Like she's not gonna be able to handle that well.
I think Lyra has all the potential to be another long reigning. Like I think she has the potential to have a Mandy Rose type reign, and I wouldn't have an issue with that because you do need to. Yeah, because Lyra. People sleep on Lyra. Lyra's a workhorse, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Lyra's a workhorse, in my opinion.
I'm just thinking out loud. I'm like, wow, I can see that. Like, she's already had pretty much a stacked retention rate so far. She retained against B. Oh, not B Priestley. What's her Blair Davenport. I'm about to call her B Priestley. Yeah. Blair Davenport, Rox, Lola. I feel like she faced somebody else, didn't she? Or was that it?
Kiana James.
Did she retain against? Did she?
She did.
Okay, Kiana James.
She had a lot of people. She had a lot of She had Zion. No, that was Becky Lynch, I believe, that had Zion Lee when that whole angle happened.
No,
She has a couple of people.
no, that was Lyra too. She faced Lyra.
Yeah.
She faced.
Mind you, that's Lyra. Zion Lee ain't no joke. I don't care what nobody say.
She ain't no get consistent with her booking. That's all.
Child, they giving her the other brand.
I keep forgetting she's on the roster. There's a lot of people I keep forgetting.
You know what's funny? I was excited to see her at the Royal Rumble, and I'm like, why am I so excited to see somebody who just had a storyline? Like, why am I excited to see these specific people that should have already been excited about? Like her and Ivy Now. I was like, why am I excited to see these two? That's right, because we're supposed to see them more. Got it. That's where that science came from.
Especially after that battle royal, I have thoughts on how they're booking that main roster, but yeah, what can you do? But yeah,
it was the first Royal Rumble without a special guest. People got what they wished for. Let's think about it that way.
Oh,
it was the first one. The only special guest they had
was Jordan.
They didn't have anybody. Yeah, that was it. They called up somebody else from TNA. They had more comebacks and more debuts than any of their female Royal Rumble previous matches because Liv came back. Liv came back and Naomi came back. That was the biggest thing. Then you had Jay debut. Then you had Jordan was a guest. And everybody else was roster. Everybody else was roster. No special guests or no divas, no old school female wrestlers, no Hall of Famers, none of that. Just straight
up
women.
Everybody who's either on the roster or
and then Tiffany, of course. Tiffany and Roxanne were the special ingredient from NXT, and that was that. But for Tiff's case, she was off NXT for a while after her last after the Deadline pay-per-view. So I think that was their way of debuting her for the main brand. And then they gave her SmackDown right after. So that was a call-up call. So yeah, no. But other than that, no Hall of Famers, none of that.
All right, yeah. That was good.
We got what we wished for, to be quite honest. But when Lyra, do I see myself being excited for Lyra being a Royal Rumble? Yeah, I do. Could see her toss to some people you would expect to toss over in a match. I would enjoy that from her. I would enjoy that. She's grown on me.
To be honest with you, if y'all watching Paul, Triple H, Levesque, Michael, Sean, Hickenbottom, y'all can make Evolution too if you want to. Like, y'all got a whole stacked NXT roster and main roster.
I'm gonna be that crazy fan that literally starts to petition to make that happen because certain people aren't there no more, so they don't have the excuse to do it. You know, they wanted to just give me that. I mean, you give me Berlin if y'all want to run that. If y'all want to run that in a country, I think they should run it in a country. I think they should run it in a country that's never had it before. I think they should do it in Hawaii.
Oh, if they run it in Hawaii, I ain't coming back.
I think you should. I think they should run it. They might end up giving Nia Jax the championship, child. Let me stop. Anyway, gonna go to the comments right now. Yes, everybody. Yeah. Oh my God, Patrick kicked her head off. She choked the homegirl out. She choked that girl out. Like, really choked her out. Lola, I think, is too. Lola's a workhorse. Lola, at first, I had to watch her because I'm like, all right, they like to add these pretty faces. She ain't. I feel bad. I take my words back. She's really good in my opinion. I like that MMA background. If she learns more and works more, is gonna come in handy. I just think that they did that cash-in was probably just to show the crowd, like, oh, we didn't get to see much of her in her matches. She was always in a tag team. She was always doing this. Like, how could she do now without Elektra? And that separated her from Elektra really well because there were moments in their match that I thought she had it.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
I thought she had it.
Elektra, it's like not Elektra, Lola. That triple threat to me, it made Lola entering the triple threat the way that she did pick up the pace for me to where it was like, oh snap, this is good, and then so that showed me like, okay, she can actually hang and do her thing when given the chance. So yeah, that was good. It was just the way that they had her cash in just maybe Like, all right, bro. But Lola, I feel like they're heading in the right direction with her for sure. So I give them that.
Sure. Who else can we
All
talk
right.
about here? There's so much.
They're building. They're still building. I guess we can talk about Miss Parker. Miss Parker. Miss Parker.
Miss Parker. what the people? I'm giving the people
She's
what
made
they
an
want.
appearance
What they really,
on
really
World
want.
Star Hip Hop and everything. Just
That's
making an entrance.
Crazy to me, solely because, like, and then the P stack is a smart thing that happened because I don't know many people who can say they've been on World Star. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about both ladies to be fair, to be unbiased.
I'm not.
Okay, fair enough. I thought
I'm trolling.
I thought they were good in the match they had with the family and Without the Mud, but I thought they were much better alone. I thought they did a great job alone. I think Razzo's now on my radar. Parker's been on my radar since day one. But I think Razzo should have been somebody that should have made it to the break. I think she should have been involved in the breakout tournament. I think, and I'm happy. We're gonna talk about Brinley Reese briefly because I like her too. But if they had gave me Razzo as a replacement, I would have been happy with her too.
One thing I can give credit to, like one thing about me is like I love it when people try to assume that I'm going based off of looks. I know how to turn it off. I had this conversation on my show last week. I know, like, I can 100% say, hey, Miss Parker, like, oh, you were gorgeous, to that third. But when that bell ring, I know how to turn that off. Some people can't. But when it comes to Rizzo, she is perfect for the family. And I hate using that. I don't use that term lightly. I don't use perfect often. But she is perfect. She's playing the character well. And then even in this match, you can tell where you can obviously, like, I don't have to be a trained wrestler to tell where someone can practice more. You can tell where she needs to practice more, but at the same time, she did not stand out to where it's like, oh, this match, when is this match going to end? This is brutal. You can tell they both helped. They both elevated each other to where they can make this match work, and you can see exactly where they can improve on, and they're in the right place. And which is why you said what?
It's a dance partner thing.
Everybody needs a dance partner, and that's the beautiful thing about wrestling, sports entertainment. Everybody needs a dance partner, and they gel. I can see us, like, if everything is on their side, no injury buzz, because there is an injury bug going around in wrestling. If no injuries happen by this time next year, I can see them both being at a better level than they are right now. Because outside of, I believe this is what, Jada's sixth match that happened last week.
Her sixth. Well, she's had a lot of level up, but nobody watches.
I counted that too.
Up.
That's what I counted too. I counted a level up too.
I'm gonna get on people for that because they want to sit here and drool over her when she gets to USA. Where were you at Peacock after SmackDown? In bed? I doubt it. But I've been watching. I literally paid attention to her. When I watched her on her first level up, I was like, she's gonna work this gimmick a little bit because people are gonna start comparing her to Bianca, which they've done.
Oh,
people are gonna start pointing out her body, which they do.
Nope.
Like, and I said it on my first episode of Watch What Happens NXT. It's gonna be hard not to look at it. That's like watching somebody fall down the stairs and not wanting to watch them fall down the stairs. If it's right there in front of me, I'm gonna look at it. All right.
This is what I say every single time. Just like women who watch Roman Reigns, they're going to see his looks. He is an attractive man.
Preach.
I am comfortable in my sexuality to where I can acknowledge where, pun intended, where a man is attractive. Women are going to look. And in my case, I am going to look. If I see a woman that is within my age range, she's 25, I'm 29. You're considered my age group. If I see you and you're attractive, I'm going to be like, damn. That's literally going to be me. But as a normal functioning man who's actually had interactions with other normal functioning women, I know how to turn it off and be like, okay, this is where you can work on. I enjoyed this match, but this is where I feel like you can be better. I'm gonna give you grace. because I've been watching wrestling literally all my life at this point, since 99. So I'm 29, so over 20 years in some way, shape, or form.
You've seen it all.
So I've seen it all, and I've seen way worse, and I've seen way better, and I've seen people who choose not to evolve. Choose like shout out to the homie that I had on the podcast last week. She was like, if she remains humble, she will definitely evolve.
Oh yeah,
because she got the mic skill down on pat. Like the way she delivered some of her promos, she can talk.
Yo, her promo from the breakout tournament, her attitude alone stands the hell out.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
so once she masters the in-ring aspects, or at least to the point where they master it to where she can hide the faults and learn, and then eventually evolve. Because let's keep it a stack. It's a lot of, like you said, we talked about the partners.
right.
If both of them know how to hide their flaws that they still have to work on, and actually structure a match to where all you see is their strengths. She knows where her strengths is. She can talk. So every move that she makes, once she's fluid with it, and all she do is like she hits that, like you said on one of your clips that you showed, she did the big booty bump.
Oh yeah.
It goes to the ribs.
That's a rib cage move.
It goes to the ribs. It's a rib cage thing. It's like if she does that, then it's like when she does that, and then she goes to the mics, like she talks her talk. She's like, yeah, you saw that. Like once she's fluid with that, both of them, she's good. She's excellent. She's gonna be great. She's not ready to be world champion like a certain muscle man Malcolm was trolling online.
But that's him. I find it hilarious because you guys.
I love it. Like I was like, bro, like, and it's funny. It's like me and him. I've met him a couple of times, and me and him, I love laughing with him. People were trying to rap. You can also tell when people who actually know when to turn it off, and who don't know when someone is trolling. When it comes to Malcolm, he's trolling.
He's trolling, y'all. Like 1,000%.
When it comes to me, I am trolling.
Yeah.
I do not be. I love it. That's why I kind of tailor my notifications too, because if I'm not following you, I don't see what you say. Because most of these people, they don't know how to don't know how to turn it off. I'm like, bro, I am not 100% serious. But it's like I see the potential in Jada Parker. I see the potential in Rizzo. I see the potential in who else? Kalani Jordan. I see the potential. I know how to turn, like, and I find all these women attractive. Shawn Michaels, I need to know what your explore page looks like, because you have quite.
That man has lived in the South. You know exactly what
this is true. This is true.
Like, let's be real. He's from Texas. He's from Texas.
So I know
his favorite restaurant is on the northwest south of Houston. He knows exactly what he is.
He's from As soon as I saw they say he's from San Antonio, I'm like, oh yeah, that's all I even know. That's all I even know. That's all I even know. But nah, it's like, and I will stand 10 toes down. Like I find these women attractive, but I know how to turn that shit off.
Ain't even just him to his trips, because he done seen the world and back.
Oh, he loves the big muscular women.
Nobody in Connecticut looking like that. I'm sorry. Nobody out of Greenwich, Connecticut looks like that.
He loved the muscular women.
You see his wife. Hello. I'm just saying. Him and his wife work out together. Let's not forget this. Hello.
Last legend. Last legend. Jakara Jackson. Oh, I love me some Jakara Jackson. Like, hey, Miss Jackson.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Listen, give her. I think they should give her some time. And oh my God, I'm waiting for the day they give Lash Legend that belt. That'll be her swan song as well, because she's been holding it down since the 2.0 days. Like her, Braun, Carmelo, Cora Jade, all of them been holding it down. Like they've been holding it down since, and I can't wait for them to get their roses on the way out, because I think they could do great on the main roster, but they still also need a little bit of tuning, because they didn't focus on Lash Legend that much. Like Lash Legend was kind of like the valet girl, and then they just started recently using high power. So they need to give her a little bit more time too. Same thing like Braun Breaker. People were like, oh, next year is going to be Braun Breaker's year last year. But I was like, no, he still has a lot to do. Like he's gonna go out with one title reign. Like, no, he's not his dad, he's not his uncle. Give him more. And now we're gonna dive right into
the Dirty Dogs.
The Dirty Dogs.
Oh, the Wolf Dogs. Sorry, I was thinking about Dolph Ziggler.
His name is Nick Nemeth now. Don't make me sad.
Nick Nemeth. I'm sorry.
Nick Nemeth.
I'm sorry. But no, because I don't know why I thought that. Oh, because you said NXT Championship, and that's who he beat to win that second title. That's why my brain immediately went to Dirty Dogs because of that. My fault.
It's okay. We're gonna dive right into the Wolf Dogs. I'm glad that Corbin likes the name because this is my favorite. Out of all the he went with it. He went with that belt to that parade. That's what he wanted to do. That's what he got. So he got to accept the name. Anyway, they are officially your new NXT Tag Team Champions. That is a team of Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, the Wolf Dogs.
The fact that that's his second title is crazy.
Yo, the fact that for both of them, think about that.
Well, technically, it's Braun's third because he won the NXT title twice.
We talking about a different belt though.
But the NXT, but we're talking about like a whole separate belt. Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
For both of them.
It's crazy. But I get it.
I praise the family a lot. They had that belt for I think 96 days as champion. I praise them a lot in this match. They held up very well. It was very powerhouse full. I was expecting it to be a lot of Braun Breaker wrecking niggas left and right. It was not that at all. That this was one of if we're gonna start calling main events matches that are worth the watch this year on my recap of Watch What Happens NXT Greatest Edition, this is gonna go down as the first one. Like this was really worth the main event status that it got, because from Breaker going through a table to D'Angelo pulling off a Hurricane Rana out of fucking nowhere. Like, where did you learn to do that Hurricane Rana? Like, it was just to the end. It gave me, I was like, yo, if the family gets this back, they're out the stack. But the fact that they won was great. I love it for Baron Corbin that he's now second title. Hopefully he gets another one soon if he goes back to the main roster. I like that Braun Breaker was able to get this last title in before going to SmackDown. My question is now, what next? Does he work 2 shows? Are Baron and him going to lose to the next big thing? Does the family get their title back? And also people forget that a part of JCJ's deal of raising that money to pay back the family for Andrew Chase, rolling the dice and gambling all their money, she was able to guarantee them a tag team match. So we might be getting Chase U versus Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, the Wolf Dogs, and that might be the drop. We don't know. So we got so many avenues to go down with this one. Which avenue is the right avenue?
Damn. So many.
He's not tan no more, but hold on. Let me just address this. Vaughn, he turned the tan off, okay? He's pale. He turned it on when he went to Nick Atlas, because Nick Atlas told him to wipe that shit off. What are you doing? So we can't call him John B. Breaker no more. He's Dom Toretto Breaker, because he one ball away from saying he family. That's it. We can't call him that no more. But go ahead, honey.
I don't even think he got the full beard no more either. I think
he shaved down the sides. Listen. He said, I gotta look main roster ready. I gotta put a suit on. He got a blue suit on. He went in there with a full shirt on. He didn't even had no tank top going to sign that contract. Listen. He said it's a different day. It's a new dawn. It's a new day.
He's like, I had to go take a bath.
I had to exfoliate it all off.
I had to take all this off. I had to come back my regular color. I had to come back to my regular nature. But nah, oh man, so many possibilities that they can go with this. It's crazy. Like, that's the thing about it. It's like, and that's the thing that I love about NXT too, is like I can't predict it. I can't predict it at all. Like, oh man. But I do see them dropping it at Stand and Deliver though. I genuinely do. Like, to who though? Like, do we see them giving it back to the family? Because that'll be like another hot potato because I don't know what they're doing with the family. Like it's like they had the titles first, then they dropped it to chase you, then they won it back. Did they have any title defenses outside of that 4-way? She paused. She paused. She paused. She paused again. She paused again. She paused. She paused. She paused. She paused. She paused. She paused. She paused again. She paused again. But yeah, while she gets ready to come back to the festivities, but yeah, I see them trying to I see them trying to I improvise. I see them but it's like I need them to, like, if they do put the titles back on the family, I need them to have a longer reign than this, because both times they're 2 times tag team champions. It feels like one title reign, because I barely remember when they lost it and won it back. So who else would they drop it to? Like, do you think they would drop it to OTM? I can see that. Maybe.
I can't see Braun Breaker or Baron Corbin, for this matter, being wiped the way that they did the New Day when the New Day won the titles. Because the New Day didn't even have I think the New Day won those titles in a flash to make up for the title for the Usos going over their title reign. So I feel like that was my theory. I think that the Usos weren't supposed to go as far as they did with the undisputed titles, and it hurt the New Day. So to make up with the New Day, they gave them the NXT Tag Team Championships, which I was like, that's not a smart call, because now they got to drop it to somebody and they end up dropping it to Gallus. I don't want to see that happen again, because I don't think that's fair to the tag teams on NXT. I think those tag teams work really hard to create chemistry. Like, not a lot of them, we have to understand, like, not a lot of them are put together with chemistry. They're put together because based on how they looked. And then they have to build that chemistry. And so Braun Breaker and Corbin, you just had to kind of see it happen on camera. But you have tag teams that have actually like established themselves long enough to be a tag team. Out the mud, I feel like not going to happen anytime soon. I feel like a little bit down the road, probably Heat Wave. They need more time to build because they lost to the family heavy. That's a heavy loss to them. For them to be a new faction to go up against a faction that's been there a long time to get squashed like that in a pay-per-view, you're going to have to build it a little bit longer than that before you just say, here you go, here's the tag team belts. I
see Patrick's prediction. He was like,
I'm about to break his heart in a second because I'm about to break his heart in a second.
Okay.
I think Hake and Tank needs to be on Level Up a little bit more because they've had level up matches, but they haven't been much. I think that No Quarter Catch Crew, if they pick 2 of their best guys, I think they can probably be NXT Tag Team Champions. I think they're gonna give it to and I don't want to do this because I hate doing that. William Regal's son,
Charles Dempsey.
And Drew Gulak will probably be the top 2 contenders to out that. If they want to try and do something Undisputed Era like, they'll do that with No Quarter Catch Crew because there's only 4 teams out there that don't need reinforcement from any woman or anything. I think they're going to frame towards that. Out the mud, more down the line, I think the family be a 2-time NXT champions before they go to main roster as well. And I want to break what's the name's heart about this is because Idris Elfor is injured.
Mm-hmm.
He's out for at least 6 months, so we don't know when that's going to happen. It's not going to happen at Stand Deliver though. Braun Breaker going for the U.S. Championship.
I mean, if he's on SmackDown, he's not touching that world title. I'm sorry.
God, no. He's not touching it. He's not touching the Intercontinental Championship now either.
Yeah, because he's on SmackDown. Damn. So I guess he gonna spear Logan Paul back to YouTube.
Jesus Christ! If that's happening at WrestleMania, I'm glad I'm sitting where I'm sitting. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm gonna be sitting there like, you got one of them.
We'll see come in Elimination Chamber because I feel like
Yeah.
whoever eliminates Logan in the chamber is going to be his WrestleMania opponent.
That too. I think, but where does who I'm not worried about Braun Breaker so much because they already see like they saw that boy go up against that again Carmelo Hayes, and they looked at them the way that they looked at them like two well-oiled cars in a race together. Like they look forward to them always in the race together. So I'm not worried. I'm never going to be worried about a Carmelo Hayes or a Braun Breaker or a Trick Williams or Roxanne Perez or Lola. I'm not going to be worried about none of them. I'm worried about the people who've been there long enough that have had that chance. And every time you think they're going to get leveled up, something happens. Because the last person that I always said that, all right, they gave him this championship and now he lost it, but they're gonna give him a WWE championship now, and they're gonna give him the Intercontinental Championship now. Was Dolph Ziggler, and look what they did to Dolph Ziggler. The last person I said that might end up being a champion, like a women's champion, and they didn't give her that chance, was Dana Brooke. They let Dana Brooke go. Like all the people I thought they would have given more the potential to, they have let go. So now my hopes for them giving people any type of like hope or second chance, it's I'll believe it when I see it type thing, because I don't want to say, oh great, now they're finally gonna give Baron Corbin the Intercontinental Championship and then he goes back to main roster and there's nothing.
Yeah.
So I think this is the best cliffhanger they gave, because yeah, great, I don't know what's going on and I want to know more about what's going on real bad. You feel me? Like I want to know about what's going on real bad. What's going on?
Yeah, so it's more, and that's how I choose to consume NXT. It's like I'm not finna play fantasy book. I'm more so like, let's see what happens before I choose to, because I don't want to get my hopes up and be like, oh, I see Baron Corbin going back to the main roster and getting the Intercontinental title, or Braun Breaker is going to be positioned to where he's going to be a contender for the world title, and then he's squashing, he's winning squash matches like he's right back.
So this is the type of edgy and deep type stuff we just have to sit down and watch then.
Mm-hmm. And as far as these tag team titles, it's like it's so many teams that they have, but the only ones that I feel like I can see them taking it off of them is they either give it back to the family or they take a chance and give it to, say, maybe an OTM or whoever is not injured. It's like tag team names are slipping my brain right now.
OTM is really it. I mean, I don't think Nathan Frazier and Axiom are going to be tag teams for a while. I think they're just stuck together right now.
Yeah, because they both can flip.
Yeah.
It's just like.
But that's what you see what I mean now, though. But you see where I'm getting with that. Like you sticking people together that just literally you just putting them wherever you want, and I feel that, but I don't like that too much.
This is true. Yeah,
I don't like too much of it. Let's.
But yeah, we'll see how they do.
See what happens.
That's the thing about NXT too. It's like we'll just wait and see what they do.
What do you think they're gonna do with Rich Holland? Because he had a whole gauntlet match. Like if they're not trying to make me feel bad for him, now I'm really starting to be like, well, goddamn, like what do you got to do?
That's the point.
Y'all want him to lose his shit for real? Like, what do y'all want this man to do?
I think that's what they're trying to do. They
make
want
him lose his mind. Like, look at him in the corner. Like, look at him right there in that left hand corner. Like, he like conflicted. Like he want to punch you, but he want to hug you. Like, which one is it?
I think. Here's my thing. I think that's what they're going. They want you to feel bad for him. But in my case, this is a case where I don't. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I don't feel bad. It's like they want him to they want him. They're basically taking a spin on how people perceive him in real life, whether it's being he's unsafe, he's injury, he's giving people injury, he's injury prone, like, or he's injury giving prone, like he hurts you if you faces him. That's what they was doing with when he dropped Ilya Dragunov on his head. And that's what they're doing with Gallus. Is like he's conflicted. He's like, do I want to hurt people, or do I want to feel bad for myself? And it can work, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to feel sympathetic because I don't really care for Gallus. So they probably need to find when
you
it was
the nicest way possible. You really did.
It's like when they did it with Dragunov, I was moved a little bit because I'm like, oh my god, I care for Dragunov. But it's like with Gallus, I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, oh, we're supposed to feel something here. Got it.
I gotcha. Oh no, like you get that that nonchalant. Oh no. Oh,
you know what?
God.
But you know what I said? I think that's the lack of sympathy coming from what happened, and people need to take themselves. I just think they need to give this man more of a little bit of a chance. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I root for people very easily. I just think maybe they just give him a little bit more of a chance.
And my thing is, it's like, and I hate going back to social media, but when that thing happened with Big E, when Big E himself said he was one of the first people that apologized, I'm like, that lets me know all I need to know. I'm not out here trying to call for this man to get fired or none of that stuff. Like, I'm open, like just like with Lexis King, I'm open to giving me a reason to root for Ridge. It's just I need for this character to work. I need them to have him against people that I actually care for. I do not care for Gallus.
Yo, you know what? Okay, now that you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense.
They have to be strategic about who they put him against, because in my mind, if I see Gallus getting their butt whooped, I'm cheering Ridge. Like, let's go. So it's like, and then when he dropped, I'm like, bro, what you get mad for? Celebrate. What you conflicted for? You just whooped these 3 bums' butt. Let's do it.
You know what's crazy? But here's the thing, like,
But I'm not supposed to feel that way. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
But
like, not for nothing, I don't feel bad for Ridge either. Because it's like, this is us. All right. If we could blame it on the whole, we got to get used to him being in a singles type of situation by himself. But it's just like, no, it's just him. It's the character. It's him. Like, we've seen enough. I lift things up and put them down people for me not to feel bad or sympathetic for let's put things up and lift things down person again. Like, I can't go through this. There's enough of them. I don't feel bad for this one. And it sounds real mean. I don't.
You said it nicer than I did, so
like you gave me a whole interview, and I was like, okay, we kind of get why you feel guilty. I know, but I'm still not there yet. It's gotta be let's see what happens.
I feel like that interview should have been like, I feel guilty, but here's my redemption.
Yeah, he should have just pointed out that he had a redemption. But he didn't do that. He again just like complained about. He just like gave us a sob story about why he's not the bad guy. Like, but you used to be a bad guy, but you had to castrate yourself. That sounds like a personal problem. Still not convinced. Still not there. I'm sorry. It sounds so mean me saying it, but I'm not, and it's evil and it's bad and it's wicked, but I'm not there. Let's see what happens between now and Stand Deliver. Hell, he might win the Andre Giant Battle Royal, whatever Battle Royal they be coming up with. They still doing that? I don't know. Whenever, if they want to bring it back up, toss him in there. Maybe you get sympathy out of me with that, because I'm just not. You're not getting it from me any other way.
And that's my thing. It's like I'm not.
It's so mean to say it that way, but you're not.
It's like what they're doing now is not getting sympathy from me, because it's like at the end of the day, and this is a tricky thing because you want sympathy in a sport that requires you to hurt people.
So yeah, let's end that on that note. That's true.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. No, not even that. But I was speaking of sympathy because I feel this person about this same way. We're going to talk about her real quick. And a lot of people agree with you that Gallus is mid. It's giving Midwest because everything out there is mid. Even though St. Louis is fire. I have fun in St. Louis. I would gladly go back to St. Louis. I'll go back to Detroit too. Detroit was kind of lit. But yeah, like keep him out. Like I don't even want to say that. Just give him a chance. Patrick loves your comments about getting Spear back to YouTube. I didn't realize, I remember watching Logan Paul when he was popping, even after that whole like shit in the forest happened, and they were blaming his brother. And I was like, why are you attacking his brother for the dumb shit that his older brother did? Like, let's not do that. Because I used to watch his brother a lot on YouTube because I had a friend that was really heavy into he was one of the first to do a content creator house. Like Jake Paul. And that was like when they started doing, and then after that, that's when the trend of like content creator house started happening. I always found it fascinating. I used to like, how do they get together and just make content? They just go on social media and do like weird, like it was the first of an era, and he made millions off of that. So that I admire them for that. Do I want to keep seeing him half naked with his belt? Logan, stop it. Your ring talent was good enough. I don't need to see you doing all that. Stop. Yeah, going forward to somebody who you're also not going to get any sympathy out of me from is this one. Like, I don't know what they're doing with Roxanne Perez. It's starting to get real, like,
I don't think they're trying to go sympathetic. I think she's just losing her mind
over a belt. Like, I get it's messed up, right? Like, who was me? I never really lost my belt. Baby, they're not going to take that belt off of who they got it from now and put it on you and just be like, hey, by the way, you know how we told Punk he would have to get his belt back because he never lost it? We're going to run the same thing with you. We're going to have two belts here. They're not doing that with you either, baby girl. You had to drop that title because you got hurt.
Because you got kicked so hard.
You got kicked so hard. And then what really grinds my gears is that Sean let you have a contender match to get your belts back, and you lost that. So I thought you would drop it. You didn't drop it. So now,
my thing is, you was in a ladder match to win.
You was in a ladder match to get it back, and you lost it to your friend,
to Indy.
All right, we now we with that. We thought we was gonna let that go. No, Sis comes back with the still. I'm gonna get my belt back that I never lost in the first place. And I'm like, if that's your angle, it's kind of true. I'm all right. I'm gonna stick with it. We at the point where now 4 different people have had your belt, and you still on this whole. I'm gonna come and get the belt that I never lost in the first place. Sis, girl, baby. Water is wet. You hear me? Like, let me take this off of me. Water is wet and dirt is brown and rocks are hard. We get it. Like, we understand. What else? You're not getting this belt back yet. So what? It's fine. There's no more like, and I give her. I always give her credit where it's due because you've been through a lot. You were the tag team championship with your best friend. Your best friend didn't like you no more. Your best friend pulled the Carmelo Hayes on you before Carmelo Hayes decided to pull the Carmelo Hayes, and she turned her back on you. She pulled her lingeries with the other belt, and you technically never lost that belt neither. Like you technically had to give that belt, and the same thing had to happen with this belt. You had to give that belt.
See, when it comes to her losing the NXT title, all this could have been avoided if you had just ducked. just duck. Gotta be quicker than that.
All she had to do was study some John Wick and some Matrix. She could have went under leg, hit a pop rock.
You are shorter than who did she face? Was it my
Miko Satomura?
Miko Satomura.
Satomura, yeah.
You're shorter than her. All you had to do was duck. Me. That's all you had to do.
She could have. All she had to do was Bo Jackson her. Like literally, when you saw the leg fly, like yo, you could have spun with her. You saw that spin. You would have had a hurt shin, but you could have spun with her. You didn't want to do none of that. You didn't want to do any of it. But I get the angle because, like I said, every time she loses the belt, it seems to be. It's not the format of I got pinned for my belt. It's the format of some mess tone happens, so now I got to give it up. So I felt that. But like I said,
and I think it's the tone.
The
of
earth
her voice.
Is round.
The tone of her voice makes it seem like she's more entitled,
and that's what it's starting to give.
Yeah, that's what that's yeah. Like Wealth Warrior said on Twitch, it is kind of overdone. If you're in the match and you didn't get the dub, then you lost. It's literally plain as day. Like there's no other way to put it. You lost, and especially and it's like that's the downside of when you watch wrestling so much. You see it all. They've done this angle so many times in so many companies to the point where it's like, all right, now you're entitled. Like you lost. It's okay, because she can't use the reference of a title that no one beat me for when you competed in a ladder match for the vacant title and you still lost.
Yeah, like you missed me with the part of you went up to Becky and you easily could have said, I'm the best, I'm this, I'm that, I'm all that. Just go with that angle. I didn't need to hear, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get the title that I never lost in the first. Girl, we know. We know.
About to have me sound like Bianca. Girl.
We know that oil and water are two different liquids. We know all this. We know 1 + 1 is 2. We know.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Thank you. If she's going to go nuts,
just go nuts.
Just go nuts, sis. Because let me put this back up again. Because let me tell you, and then another thing too, stay out the goddamn women's locker room. You and your ex-best friend, your friend of me, Cora, both of you stay out the locker room because that's where all y'all drama like to start. Because look at this. First, she gonna slap this girl, the queen of NXT. You was going to slap homegirl. She ain't had nothing to do with you. All she was trying to tell you is to have some patience because you had to listen. I pushed that bus in honor of Black History Month, like my good sister said. I ain't getting in the back of the bus. We get it. But we just understand this, please. You can't be slapping people left and right, girl. You're not a housewife. This ain't a soap opera. Stop. Left, the queen of NXT with a bruise. You see, shout out to Jada Parker in the back. Because Jada Parker is me. Oh, shit. That makes sense. Then, she gets into it with Lola Vice Then you got this. Listen, mind you, I didn't know Izzy Dane was that tall. We're going to get into that in a second.
No,
but you got Izzy.
Rox is just that short. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Rox is just that short.
Okay.
Then she had
then she had to get into a beef with her and Kiana when Kiana James was going through that stuff. Probably why Kiana James asked for Izzy Dane's help, because she was like, "Oh, you can stand up to Roxanne. Let's do some business together. You sick of her? I'm sick of her too. Did we just become best friends? Yes, they did the whole stepbrother thing probably before they went out there for that match." And then you had this. Ava even got tired to the point of, you know what? I'm not going to give you a title match. Now this week you got to go up against Fran Sinclair because the girl just got here. She don't know anything. All you could have said was mind your own business and walk away. No, you punched her.
What is everybody's beef with Fran Sinclair? I don't get it.
That's a topic I'll tell you once we get off air.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to get my affiliate. I'm trying to get my Twitch affiliate up there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what they're going to take off or take me off for. Yo, Miss Parker's face is killing me too. You also, I want her to reach that level of crazy because I want to see what the fuck she's doing. Like, I want to see where the hell this is going.
Facts.
Like,
I get that. So it's like Roxy is crazy.
And sneakers have souls. Moving on. But I just need to see where this is going.
Oh man.
Gas stinks. What else do you want? Like, I don't like. Speaking of, let's get into somebody on a positive note. Let's get into somebody who I want to talk about who's a little bit more positive. We're gonna let you, Josh, dive into your thoughts about her, and then we could end the show. Well, somebody I'm more excited about. We're gonna get into Level Up real quick. The debut of our guy.
Yay.
Finally debuted.
Hey. Hey.
We talking about my boy.
My guy.
We all know his name is Javon. We're gonna go on by his NXT name, even though his mama named him Jay. I'm gonna name him Jay, but we're gonna go by him as Javon Evans here on NXT now on WWE. Signed, he is now officially the youngest NXT superstar on the brand. He's 19 years old.
The young OG.
Young OG. He had a match with the Broken Up. Oh, and we're gonna get into that angle too because apparently him and his former tag team partner are dancing tonight. Mm-hmm. But before that, he warmed up by going against Javon Evans, which is, I don't know what they're doing with him. I'm worried about him.
Who that? Who you talking about?
Jensen.
Or what they're doing? He's trying to find his confidence.
Right.
Since he broke up, because the team broke up because of on his idea. Fallon is seeing some success. Briggs turned heel, so he's seeing some success, and he's like struggling. He's like, damn. Like, I feel like since we broke up, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. And Briggs embraces inner JBL. That was like,
which was genius, by the way.
Oh yeah,
because he looked like he was lost and he was gonna go this face route, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You got a recommendation from a wrestling god, from the king of from one of the best heels of the Ruthless Aggression era. And he told you, he was like, do you know why I picked you? Like, you're not somebody that's meant to be with other people. Like, you're meant to somebody to grab somebody by the balls. And that's what he did with his former tag team partner, but his tag team partner didn't see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to see how that evolves tonight. But let's talk about this match, because this was good match.
And I tell this to people who if you've never, like, I know the trend of today's Twitter world is, oh, if I ask who is this, like, are you going to gatekeep? I am not going to gatekeep. I'm going to tell you this.
Absolutely not.
I am going to tell you this right here, right now. If you don't know who Javon Evans is, look up Deadlock Pro Wrestling. He is a former DPW world champion. So if he was trusted enough to be a top dog there at such a young age, that kid is the absolute truth. Like, me on Twitter, for those of you who follow me on Twitter know, I don't give praise to just anybody. Mm-hmm. I don't tell anybody that, oh, this kid is up next. This kid is like, I will put my whole entire name on brand for this kid to be up next, because he's talented. Like, he's literally multi-talented, because if for those of you who don't know, one time he had a match for DPW, and the owners actually said this on their podcast. He literally won a track meet at school and went to have a wrestling match for about 20-30 minutes.
Wow.
So he's dedicated to it. Well, for starters, but his head is on the shoulder. And I always tell people, look up Deadlock Pro Wrestling, because I've had, when we was hyping up the match, because he was like, oh my God, that boy bouncy.
Dude, when I heard him say, oh my God, I said, they let him do that? I was like, yes. I was so excited, because I remember his match with Chris Bay. That was the match that exposed me to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the match with him and Chris Bay, and it was funny because I think it was Florida. I think it was Florida Is it Florida? Is it WPD? I have to find that match. I've sent it
Was
to
it
you on YouTube.
WPW or something?
Yes. No,
Okay.
It was F something. I have to find that match.
FPW probably.
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah,
Oh.
something around that. Because literally, like, I'm watching him against Chris Bay, and they were even saying that he went to a clinic with Chris Bay, and Chris Bay got on Twitter and saw that he debuted in WWE, and actually said, like, that's my boy. And I was like, oh man, like, because that's the match that exposed me to him. And then when I'm hearing this kid get signed at 19, I'm like, the last person that had that much hype was Paige.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to tell you, this kid has his head on his shoulders. Like, I'm not throwing shade at nobody. I'm just saying, like, this kid has his head on his shoulders from my experience. And I know people who know him personally, and every last one of them will literally hype him up to the point where it's like, bro, I'm not hyping him up just to say he's a good wrestler. It's the fact that given the right training and the right time with him, I can say by 24, that kid, they can shape an entire brand around that kid. He's 19 now.
That's
but I'm just
exciting.
Saying,
that's
like
exciting.
he's that talented. Like, and it's like what you saw on Level Up is half of what that man can do. If they let him adopt the mallet, this is what he called in the indies, the mallet cutter. It was basically his own version of the cutter. But the way that he hits it, he, instead of hitting it just like a basic cutter, that brother floats before he connects. So by the time, one time he hit a cutter from, one time he dived from the balcony into the ring. And by the time he got halfway to the ring, he was still floating. And then he did the crossbody. I said, what the explicit.
What the hell?
That was literally me watching it. And it's like the way that he hits the cutter. If they put him up against Randy Orton in the future, Randy gonna be like, oh goddamn.
Yo, feed him, send him to the moon. I don't care.
Oh, trust me, if they let him jump high enough, he'll be at the moon. That's how high he float. He don't jump and then crash. He jumps, floats, then crash. But that's what I'm just saying. Like, if they let him cook a little bit more on Level Up, they got something special with that kid. And they got something special with Briggs and Jensen. Like,
I think so too.
Especially with the look that they're going. Like, he got that old school look, the whole Southern wrestling look.
I think that's what they want. I think that's where he's gonna go, because they missed that too. That element of, we want some of the old school back. We don't want too much of it back. He could be that X Factor, and it'll work.
Mm-hmm. I agree,
because that's what NXT's for. It's to find your version of X Factor.
And that's how I tell people all the time when they ask me about NXT. I'm like, just look at it as if they're trying to find themselves, but don't go in and expecting them to be on your levels of, because by the time they get to Raw and SmackDown, they should already have it figured out. NXT is where they find it out. Right.
And it's like people, like, for example, a lot of people were in discourse because they changed Tiffany Stratton's like theme and her graphics, but that Barbie shit wasn't gonna last. The music might have been different, like the camera stuff might have been different, but at the same time, let her find herself.
They would have got sued. They would have got sued to all hell for using that Barbie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, like they let her find herself in it first. This girl, and look at that, she's already on her way to her first Elimination Chamber. Just got to the roster already doing the Elimination Chamber. Just got to the roster and is already in the Elimination Chamber. NXT is a developmental brand for a reason, and that's to figure out where you're supposed to go.
And figure out, they're there to hone their craft, but also figure out literally if, like, okay, this is what needs to work on. This is what needs to work on. Like your Jada Parkers, your Rizzo. Like, they got the character down. Now they need to hone the in-ring. Exactly. Same thing with who else? It's like I'm thinking I'm trying to think who else. Not even just women. It's some men in there that you be like Idris Enofe and Malik Blade.
Mm-hmm.
They had to spend some time on Level Up to kind of hone their craft, and then now they're back on NXT.
Right.
Oh, speaking of NXT, they're starting off with Obafemi and Lexus King.
Jeez.
So we're about to see a murder within seconds.
We're about to see some mess tone. I'm gonna talk about one more person, and then we're gonna wrap this up because I think I'm gonna be reacting really live to this right about now. Because that's a whole lot of man right there. I'm sorry. I'm programmed a different way. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry.
Live your truth. Live your truth.
I'm programmed.
That's a beefy man. That's a beefy man.
It's a ruler.
Ooh.
I can't get Murta. Hossa. I'm sorry. I'm offending somebody in this chat.
Listen, that's what happens when I'm around. I literally bring out the goofy in everybody.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna talk to P and Krista about a Thirsty Thursday because you, sir.
Oh Lord.
We're gonna run it by. We're gonna see what happens. But another person, speaking of somebody with good vibes, I'm gonna talk about this girl. I'm gonna talk about Brinley Reese for a second.
Thea Hill on like 3 Bang energy drinks.
Listen, imagine them as a tag team, bro. What? The Kabuki Warriors that start screaming affinities in Japanese, bro. Like, imagine them girls in a tag team on the main roster. Just imagine.
Because I'm already seeing the comparison. I'm just going into it. They was like, "Barry, who is this Thea Hill on Juice?" I'm like, that's Brinley.
Yo, when I first saw her, I was like, this girl she's one onesie away from being an aerobics champion. Remember the aerobics champion of the world? Remember they used to have that every year on NBC, and it used to be like you used to have to outdance everybody in the aerobics competition. Like, this bitch is winning. She's taking home the gold. She's winning the whole thing. She's taking the whole thing. But I like it. That's the problem now. Because now I'm gonna be there. Like, when I be thinking NXT's done, they put it on the screen, I'm like, oh my god, Brinley's here. Yes! Like, I'm gonna be like, you know what she gives me? She gives me all the girls I went to high school with that I was on a cheerleading squad, and every time these girls would be like, you gotta scream, be excited. I used to go, ugh. But then I would turn around and still have to cheer. That's what she gives me. But I like it. And then I like her segments. It seems like Malik has a crush on her.
Oh, he do. Yeah, he loved him. He loved him some milk.
He was like, boy needs some milk.
He need that calcium in his bloodstream.
Oh my lord, my Lanta. Anyway, he was so worried about her though. Now that you made me think about that, he was like, she just lost. Mind you, great match for her and Kiana James, by the way. Even though we all knew it was gonna run interference, like, great match for her. And even in the segment she had with Kalani Jordan and what's that young lady's name? Kalani Jordan and Carmen Petrovich. I enjoyed that segment so much because, and I didn't like that. I didn't even like that they spilled that. That's, you know how into it I'm in with her. I didn't like that they spilled that girl's coffee because coffee expensive. The price has gone up. She had her own little mug and stuff like that. Izzy Dane and Kiana Jordan just going to throw it away. They literally, like, she had, and mind you, that wasn't a regular type of cup. That was a Stanley. That was a Stanley mug. And you just going to dump that coffee out like that. It's expensive out here. You don't do that.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
It is. Yo, he just the way he just threw that man down. God.
Oh Lord.
Listen. If you're not watching NXT, please watch. We're going to go a little over time. Just have one more topic to cover. This is tonight's card. Right now, you're in the midst of watching the ruler of NXT squash Justice King, because that's what it's giving right now.
Literally.
Yeah, he literally just squashed that boy. Like, the match is done. You also have, literally a squash match. Like, you also have former friends going against each other. I'm excited about Kalani versus Lash Legend tonight. It's a good card. It's looking really good. It's of course pre-taped because some of the officials right now are in Australia getting ready for the big elimination chamber out there in Perth. Shout out to them. But that's what's going on right now. But literally can't tell me nothing wrong about Brinley Reese as we close that topic out. I like her energy. I like her spunk. I like this segment that happened right there with the three of them. I think while the girlies start getting drafted, this is your top 5 that's gonna run the women's division right now. What are your thoughts on that?
Miss Jackson.
Love me some Jakara Jackson. Glad she's clear.
And she's clear. Thank God. You said this is gonna be pretty much like they're gonna shape it around. I can see them legitimately shaping it around Lash and Kalani. For sure. And Jakara, that's gonna be an eventual split at some point, because Jakara, she has that personality and aura around her where she's all about herself. So I can see that being a future program on down the line. And these other two behind Kalani, I gotta see more from them outside of Miss OD on Bang Energy Drink and who's that? Carmen Petrovic? Yeah, I gotta see more than her and
Beatrix Kiddo.
Yeah, I gotta see more to predict it. But the other 3, Kalani, Lash, Jakar, definitely they're gonna. I can see them shaping it at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if they put the like you said, put the women's title on Lash, and then Jakar gets jealous. And that could be a program in the future.
I'm tired of them breaking people up, to be quite
honest. They are. This is a company ran by a lot of old people. So they like to recycle old stuff. So yeah. But other than that, I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, there's nothing much more I can say. I'm just excited to see. Like, the potential is there. It's just let's just hope and pray that the injury bug doesn't hit them again, as far as Jakara is concerned, and then they just kill it. That's all I got. What about you?
I don't know. I think I can see when they're gonna build somebody up really well, and I think they're gonna build up all of them enough. I think they're gonna build, especially Carmen. I think they see something in Carmen that they can see, like somebody who's going to. I gotta see. It's the only person I'm gonna say I gotta see more from her, because she has a lot of fight in her. I mean, she had enough fight in her to go to the next round of the breakout, which that shook me, because I thought they were for sure going to give it to Jada Parker, but I said I need to see more from Jada Parker too, and I'm seeing more from Jada Parker. So I just think that if we could see more from Jada Parker, we're definitely going to see more from Karen Petrovic. Same thing with Jakara, because Jakara seems to be on a leg of we're going to see more from her, and something always happens. So I'm waiting for them to separate that from the rest and start giving her more of a chance. Like, maybe she needs to do more. I mean, she had a level up match before I started this broadcast. She had a level up match, tag team match with Lash Legend that was actually pretty solid. But I need to see more of her by herself.
Facts.
Like Kalani, we've seen enough of Kalani. Like, Kalani's already had 2 pay-per-view, 2 PLE matches, 1 solo, and she had the biggest opportunity match in her career was literally that deadline, which she killed it. But I feel like with her, she's always at the I'm almost there, and then my straws get dropped. I don't want to see that from her so much anymore. I want to see her actually go the distance and get a fair championship match. That's what I'm tired of seeing. I'm like, the deadline, close enough, didn't get it. Blair Davenport, close enough, didn't get it. But she keeps getting these main like breakout tournament, should have won it. Didn't get it. I need to see her go for the dub and go for the championship title for me to be like, all right, this is it. Because you're already showing me that you're already showing me that she's a workhorse. We get it, but can she be a championship workhorse? The way that, and it was the same thing with Lyra. Like I said, I already seen enough of Lyra. I saw enough in Lyra when she was in NXT UK. Unfortunately, she got hurt at her height. That's the difference between the two of them. But like, Kalani's fresh and freshly squeezed. She's orange juice. Why y'all not letting her? Why y'all not serving her?
That's a good
You
question.
feel me?
That's a great question. That is a great question. So yeah, like I'm interested to see, like, it's, I know this is a cliche to say, but the future is really promising.
Yeah. Like
Because
I was happy. I'm high on everybody there.
Yeah, it's like, and the beauty behind the way they got it set up is like you can't predict which way they go. But at the same time, if they go a certain way, it's like you won't question it because it makes sense.
It's, if you had to pick, we highlighted a lot of people, which was a great show. Great show. I thank you for coming on and being my tag team partner for the night, because baby girl's trying to learn to do it alone, but sometimes I'm realizing every once in a while I'm gonna have people who get it on here with me so that we all could get it together and come to a solution, because it is a good show. I want to bring more awareness to NXT, and I feel like it's just a lot of people, they're not seeing what I see, but I feel like they're gonna be able to see what I see, hopefully. So the question is, who do you think is next up on the NXT roster as far as wrestlers go?
For right now, if they shape the future of NXT, you got your Obafemi, you got Trick, because Carmelo's on his way out. So I'm pretty sure they're going to shape NXT around Trick when he comes back. You still got Dragunov there. But as far as up next, Jesus Christ. It's so many. I would not be against them shaping NXT around OTM in general. Like I like what you said the other day where you was like, Scripps, or was it Dylan who said Scripps going after the Heritage Cup Championship? I like that. Like I could see them shaping it, like, because he's into that whole acrobatic stuff. I can see them trying to have fun with that a little bit. And then as far as the women, I wouldn't be surprised if they shape it around Kalani. Like I said, I feel like our power four for the women will be Kalani, Lash, Jakara, and who's that for? I'm gonna throw the whim. Tatum. She's a sleeper. Like, she's doing this interesting gimmick. I can see Tatum.
Somebody who's already pulling up a gimmick the way she's pulling off this storyline right now. Definitely somebody that I could. Yes, she's definitely on my list. Just for selling this as long as she sold it, because it could have really been one and done after the whole championship. Like, and the fact that Lyra obviously is creeped the hell out, but is literally like, you know what? If I can't get rid of this girl, I'm gonna work around it. And even the storyline is working out for the both of them. Definitely. Out the mud for me, 1000%. I think they're my next up. But more specifically, even if you were to take her out of the family, I feel like Rizzo.
And that's why I appreciate about NXT is so many ways you can just rotate the four. You can literally rotate them. You can take Tatum out, Rizzo. You take Lash out, Jada. You take Jakara out. You got Thea Hale on Juice, Brindley. It's like,
even look at this. Like with Rizzo, she's like the Like, even when she was coming up and she was like, remember when you took out Tony Sachs to go in there? And she was like, yeah, because he deserved it. I had to handle the business. Like, I said, girl, I was like, you don't get that accent watching The Sopranos. I'm sorry. You don't get it. Like, so, because she ain't a Carmella, she ain't a Adriana, she ain't none of them. She learned how to break balls somewhere else. She got on.
She had to.
she got on Fulton and West Houston and said, "Yo, show me this, show me the ropes, show me a little Italy or something," and hung out with the guys. Like, and then even with Tatum, like, I wanted this picture specifically. Like, look at how she's selling this. Like, look at how this is being sold. Like, you can't just do this anywhere. And like I said,
she had acting lessons. Like, that's acting lessons for me.
She spent a lot of time on Level Up. She spent a lot of time with other people, because I know before her and Ivy Nile were supposed to be a tag team.
I remember that.
I remember her and another person were hanging out a lot, and they were supposed to be a tag team. But, you know, I'm waiting to see more from her. I think she's my next up this week. Let's give her flowers for how the continuity and the consistency of this storyline alone. I cannot not give her roses.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, and apparently, if you go off this NXT, it'll like JC Jane being Uncle Clifford.
She says the reopening of JC. It's the reopen. Yo. Tell me in the comments if you watch P-Valley. P-Valley is when you said that in your show. Shout out to your podcast, but shout out to holding shit down between you and the Shakers. Then shout out to them as well. Shout out to Santana and Nikki Buski. Between you two, I have to flip back and forth because both of y'all are hilarious on your shows. All of y'all, like you and Highlight, y'all all crack me up. Like, you mentioned me in the comments, and I always thank you for the salute, because I was sitting there, I was like, yo, they're really wasting my good goddamn twerk. Like, I was tight. You stuck up for me, but you also bring up some interesting packs. Like, you were like, listen, she out there being Uncle Clifford, and I was like, yo, now that I think about it,
it's like, oh, okay, we got beautiful women back here.
Yo,
we got them in school. We got horny people online that will buy this calendar.
Yo, that, mind you, that calendar was gone.
They gone in 30 minutes.
They said it was gone.
That thing was gone as soon as they put it up.
They saw Jasmine. It's funny because I followed Jasmine before she even joined NXT. Her name was something else on Twitter.
Jade something?
And I was like, yeah, Jade something. I was like, oh, they got that girl in WWE now? I said, that's it.
And she was just on TV. She was just on TV,
yeah.
I was like,
she's with a guy that I watch, because I watch Squid Games on NXT on NXT because I'm watching it. I watched the Squid Games competition on Netflix, and she's dating one of the guys from that show. So when I see him doing, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, I followed him on Instagram, and then they were on a helicopter ride. I was like, girl, go ahead, but she bad. She another one. Her and Jada Parker sitting in the same limousine, because child, that had her getting signed. Had me looking at Sean like, sir, you and Trips. They talking about where the hell did they find Obafemi? Where these girls coming from?
Oh my god! It's like every time I pop
Jada,
up,
it's Kalani, it's freaking
Oh, shout out to Marks with Mikes. He said Kalani reminds him of Maya.
She does.
She looks just.
She
like
does. But I could tell. Like, if I wanted
like,
personal, if she wanted to take, if she said, "Yo, my personal training costs $5,000," I would work out with her, because her too on Instagram. She be going to Orange Theory and pulling out these numbers. And I know I went to Orange Theory and did that shit. I'd be passing out. I'd be dead last on Orange Theory. And I ain't that fat. So I know for a fact, sis, don't, whatever she ain't on nothing but energy, on life and air. That was my kind of peoples. Because I be going to the gym. Shout out to my gym partners because I be in the gym dying. They be like, "No, you gotta get up, you gotta go." I be like, "Yeah," because I don't want no punch belly for WrestleMania season. Child, help me. So these girls, they looking for the fastest and the baddest out there. So shout out to the recruitment efforts because this Jasmine girl, she bad.
Man, that and it's like once I praise their in-ring work, I turn that right back on. I'm like, God damn, you fine.
It's funny I just talked about Chase U and you just talked about Axiom and Nathan Frazier because they're all quarreling with Baron and
so I'm guessing that's gonna be
Braun.
So that's what I'm saying. That's literally what's left after the family gonna have to find their way to get right back to the titles.
Everybody think they could do Ava's job. They get on my nerves. Let Ava do her damn job.
Oh, here come Roxanne with the crying. Yeah, it's her voice. It's her voice.
I've been trying to tell people like she get on my. It's that.
So she will be a good heel.
She turned into Chelsea Green, and even Chelsea Green, I like watching.
Yeah, she's. She just. Yeah, it's the squeaky voice that you can be like, all right, you're annoying me. You be like, shut up.
Like you talk too much. Stop.
About to have me hit that rock from 2002. Shut up. Hey.
Let me speak in African. Her mouth is like the treadmill. It does not stop till she wants to stop. That's it. It runs like a treadmill.
And then she talking that trash into the camera. I'm like, ma'am,
Ma'am, who are you speaking to?
Who are you talking?
But you know what? If this is her going heel, keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
Just give her belt so she can shut the fuck up because I need to know where else it's going. Yeah, I want to see how they give up these tag team titles. It needs to either happen at Roadblock or it needs to happen at Stand Deliver because they're not going to have Braun working twice.
I mean,
even though I know he can do it.
He can do it, but because he lives in Florida. So he be like, all right, you home? All right, bet. Go ahead. So
I even think, yeah, girl, I need you. If AJ Lee were to come back and be her manager, I wouldn't be mad at that either. I've been thinking that's a possibility, like a hole in the head. I've been thinking that could possibly happen because the way she's been going off the deep end, like somebody needs to tame her. Mm-hmm. I feel like that could be possible for her. Like she needs somebody who's going to be her earpiece and let her just loose cannon, but then bring her back down to earth. Because you can't be a heel and then come out all poppy. Like you need to see how she looks now. I think you're a little earlier than me. You need to be cocky with your shit. Like you need to be. I don't need you to go, I can't hear you, start smiling for everybody, bitch. Keep a mean grin on the whole time. Like, right, this is the first time in weeks she's had a mean grin, and then you start smiling. Bitch, pick a lane. Either you hate me or you don't. Or paint your face with half a smile. Pick one. I think she's done being a prodigy. I think she needs to be
she's probably still going to be the prodigy, just a cocky version of it.
Yeah.
Because she still calls herself the prodigy. Even though I feel like there's a lot of prodigies in wrestling.
I feel like my next up, I don't know, Tatum's winning.
Oh, for sure.
So that's my next up wrestler of the week.
My next up, honestly, is as far as like for NXT. My next up is I can agree with you with Tatum, and my next up for Level Up is Javon.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That boy bouncing. Yeah, they're definitely gonna.
It's funny how I said that on Twitter, and people thought I was out of pocket, or they was trying. I'm like, I keep forgetting that most of y'all people online or y'all minds just stay in the gutter. Because all I said was
these are people that stay in the dark for a lot of times. I mean, we touch grass. I think that's
I was like, okay, context, and I just put the clip of him saying it. I'm like, all right, here's your context.
AJ Lee can't wrestle, y'all. I keep explaining this every show. Like her spine, her back won't allow it.
I thought she said she's good, but she just don't want to.
Thing is, like, you don't want to risk something like that. I mean, everybody thinks that everybody can pull a Paige or a Daniel Bryan. Some people choose not to. So that I get.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've the beauty behind it is like the way that I choose with my wrestling. Like if a wrestler say I'm done, I'm retired, I don't press them for one more match. I'm like, I just reminisce about their career. She had a dope career. That's all I can say. Like if she do come back, cool. If she don't, cool.
Yeah.
That's how I choose to consume my wrestling. I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, it's like if a wrestler say they can't go no more, they can't go no more. If they say they retired, they retired. Like it's still people out here trying to push for Batista to come for one more match. I'm like, bro, he retired. Let it go.
He retired. Like he don't need to come back at all.
He's done.
Like he's done.
The only time he need to come back is to get that Hall of Fame ring. That's it.
He's doing movies and stuff. Like leave him be.
What is this promo with the men deny their truth, many faces, or they're teasing somebody?
Everybody thinks it's Okada. I don't think it's Okada. I think it's it was somebody they signed and hasn't come back in a while. And I can't give a name of it because the clues that they're giving is giving somebody sinister. The only thing I was thinking was that they let Wendy Chu not do Wendy Chu anymore and they gave her back her old gimmick, but then it's a man.
True.
But we'll see what happens. That's another thing I got to talk about on my show. I don't want to try and decipher it because it's the one thing that I'm excited to see because the wrestling doesn't give anybody, everything is spoilers. So I'm excited to see where that's going. But they keep talking about men denying their truth. The only person that I could think that's coming back is Uncle Howdy.
Who, Bo?
Yeah. Oh, see, and that red. That's the first thing we've seen is that red breaking spat.
Mm-hmm. Who knows, man? It's intriguing. NXT, y'all doing it right. Y'all doing it right.
They are. I don't know, not that outfit though, but okay.
Yeah, she look like she
why are
she's trying out? She's like she's working out. Like they look like a tracksuit.
Because they did it for Jada Parker, which I understood Jada Parker's, to be quite honest. I'm gonna explain the whole Ren Sinclair thing to you, but I don't think that shies away from her talent. I've seen her live. She's very good. She's very, very good. She's very good. Ren Sinclair, well, her former name is Maddie something. I forgot the name. She's very talented. I think Rankenstein or something like that. She's a second generation superstar. Her father is somebody famous, but I think she has good chemistry.
Maddie Rinkowski.
Yeah, something she did on social media that you know how we are with social media. Yeah. We are the North. Game of Thrones, when they wrote about it, they wrote about black people. They like, oh, black people don't forget nothing you do. So we're gonna call them the North.
The North remembers.
We just gonna call them.
And in
North.
my case, I partake in cannabis.
Okay,
so I
thank
forget
you.
things a lot.
Okay, fair enough.
I forget a lot, so it's like that's why I always laugh when people be like, "Bro, you don't remember when you said this?" I'm like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't remember what I said 2 days ago. Sorry about that.
Not 2 days ago.
Like I was like, "Oh yeah, I did say that." My fault.
Not 2 days ago. Oh my god. You sound like me now. Jesus Christ.
Because I'm such a busybody, I forget things. So I'm like, I probably did react.
You're
to
a busy man.
Remember.
Listen, 15 years of content creating, and I would be surprised if you forgot yesterday's like expiration date. I wouldn't hold it against you. Oh damn, you ain't to punch it that hard. But then again, lick back to lick back. But Josh, anything else you want to dive into before we go?
Hey man. If Corey Graves come back to NXT, he did. I think Corey just.
Why y'all want Corey Graves to back so bad?
I feel like he just accepted the fact that he's no longer in a wrestler, and he's pretty good at the play-by-play so far.
He's great as a play-by-play. I enjoy him. At first, he used to irritate me, but now I'm getting used to him.
I feel like the irritation was he played his character well.
Mm-hmm. He did.
So,
Like, the only person who irritates me now more than him is Pat McAfee.
oh Lord, you're not a fan of the?
No, he doing too much. He doing way too much. Like, I'm the and mind you, this is coming from me. I'm the heir who puts Paul Heyman on their Mount Rushmore of play-by-play commentary, just because Paul Heyman is the reason why commentary I couldn't hear on my commentary, because the way he used to hype people up and yell. Couldn't tell me nothing about Paul Heyman. I love me some Paul Heyman. Like the way he used to react to things with JR, and the way he used to work with the way that Taz used to work with my Cole, mind you, they're on my Mount Rushmore. Him and Joey Styles together, baby me watching ECW, couldn't tell me nothing ever. But I can't stand Pat McAfee. I feel like he did way too much for no reason. Like, you 2 seconds away from rolling off your fucking announce table. Michael Cole don't need none of that energy. Michael Cole's like, I'm too old for this shit.
He's like, I got like 2 more years before I retire.
Yeah, like I need, like I'm 1 more year before taking an indefinite day off. You not about to like ruin this for me by jumping on this table and dropping all my candy.
I'm about to say he's saying he's like Big Joseph with the candy.
Yo, Big Joseph gotta have his candy. It's funny because I always knew it was a thing, and then I had a friend that went to NXT Live, and they're like, "Nah, man, walks out with the candy, bro. Like, he leaves it on the table, and that shit is there, and it gets refilled before every show." Because I think it's like a way to catch your saliva or something like that. Somebody told me in a weird way. That's a way to catch your saliva, is to eat something to bring it back, but then you have water. But I'm like, like, to me, candy makes my mouth dry.
I guess it depends on the type of candy you.
Right. I do like her finisher though. I will say that about Roxanne Perez.
Oh, she switched it up from the Pop Rocks to the.
Yeah, that's how you know she's turning heel.
To the crossface. Thank God.
Yeah.
I could not stand the Pop Rocks. I'm sorry.
Isn't it like a modified Canadian Destroyer?
It's basically the Code Red.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like if you follow Amazing Red or Zelina Vega, they literally had the same.
Finish. Yeah. I remember Zelina Vega had it.
I think she still got it.
When she was at Trinidad, she was doing it a lot.
Yeah, because she was trained by Amazing Red. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, yo,
like people are not even excited about her anymore.
I feel like it's the case of everybody comes through NXT, and I'm not saying discrediting her, but it's like when you see the flavor of the month, that's what happens.
And that's why the episode I said when I had Krista B on, that promo, now that I think about it, I said it was more for like something that Cora Jade would have said. But now I'm starting to see where they're building the villain arc for her. Like, now I'm seeing where they're building that villain arc for Roxanne Perez, because it makes sense. Like, imagine you were at the top of the league and you never lost your title, but then you got mad people coming in and they're just like, oh, we love them, we like this, we like that. We don't know this. We don't care if this person's missing or not. That's wild.
I know we was talking about Ren Sinclair's outfit from there. I'm looking at one when she was in AEW as Maddie. She should bring that to here. That looks better. It's the same style, but it's like a bedazzled version. Where's that?
I'm gonna have to look it up.
It's like on her. I had to scroll her Instagram, and it was like in 2020, and it's like a bedazzled black and gold version, and it looks pretty good. So, well, yeah. Outside of that, we're good. You can sign us off if you want.
You can let everybody know where they can find you, because this is a great conversation. We gotta have you back. I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna talk to the higher ups in the boardroom and see if we can get you one of those Thursdays. This was good. This is a great episode. I want to shout out to everybody in the chat who stayed and participated.
For sure. I'm open. I travel a lot, and even if I'm in a hotel somewhere, I pay for good internet, so I still be, and I have a portable mic. So when I'm stationary, I rock through this Shure. When I'm portable, I got that Blue Yeti. I still sound good. Hey, we're Gucci. So like I'm a travel podcaster. So it's like if I gotta pay the top dollar for some good internet, I'm like, hey, let's do it. So you already
got
know.
You
But
already
yeah, I'm
know.
always open. I'm always open to it. Like, I try to keep my head down, do my own thing, but I'm always open to collab with some good people. So, I'm always open for that. But yo, if you want to peep your boy, you can follow me on Twitter at It's Gresh. I'm not calling it X. His mama named him Twitter. I'm gonna cut him Twitter. But yo, if you want to follow yours truly at It's Gresh on Twitter, you can do that. It's right there down below. The main brand is Gresh Digital Media, but you can follow the podcast at Gresh Unleashed or Gresh Unleashed Pod on YouTube. Yours truly, It's Gresh, is on one of my main YouTube channel where I do the video gaming stuff and the retrospectives and all that stuff. No, I bedazzle a little bit, do my own thing. But also, if you really want to follow me everywhere, you can just go to solo.to/Gresh that has all my social hubs. And we'll basically be live tonight for the Gresh Unleashed podcast. But yo, make sure you support my the family, the sis, the buddy here. Make sure the buddy. You gotta support the buddy. You gotta support her, man.
Don't ask me how I know where that's from. Yo, that's how I know. I feel like I'm old, but I want to thank Josh for joining us on this edition of Watch What Happens NXT. I got a lot of people inquiring to come on, but it's been phenomenal to support the retweeting, the storylining, the reel sharing. It's been a lot. Like I said, your girl might wake up because now I have a Twitch channel. There's actually now a press conference event that is happening this Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your girl might stay up and do that on my new Twitch channel. It is Reload, Relive, no dot in the middle. Wow, I like that. That was smooth. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Clean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we might do that on Twitter. We might also do it on Twitch. That sounds like a game plan. We also might see what those wrestling girls is doing also on their channels. If they go and tap in, I'm gonna tap in because that's the family right there. Once again, shout out Chris to be and Queen PR for letting me power this episode of Watch What Happens NXT. They always load episodes, and look at what I just said about the Heritage Cup. Look who just showed up. I'm telling you, no, I don't work for NXT. Somebody actually inboxed me and I said, no, you lost your mind. I would never. I would let you guys starve for secrets. I'm sorry. I could never work for that company because I don't sing when they tell me to sing. So you ain't gonna get no secrets from me. You can find me on everything: Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. My link is reload.relive. It is in the bio. I think I should be able to drop it because I'm live on Twitch right now. But we're going to figure that out. It's just reload.relive on Twitter. Nothing more, nothing less. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to watch this match with my two guys, though. I know that
for sure.
This is going to... And they even changed his theme.
Mm-hmm. I hear it. I got it playing.
This is crazy. This is gonna be a banger. Though.
He is literally a old school wrestler, and it's funny how his dad is just Bull Buchanan.
That's crazy. You know, I never knew that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I try and look up everybody before I try and give the full benefit of the doubt to what it is. But I remember seeing Josh Briggs, at some GCW like old school clips that you can find on Premiere Network.
Mm-hmm. I think he's the final Evolve champion too.
Yes, he was the last Evolve champion. And he buffed up to be in WWE because he used to be smaller than this.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see what happens. But we're going to sign out. Josh, again, I thank you. I will see all you amazing beings in the fan club tomorrow with the 3 best friends that anybody can have. We are back live here on the Those Wrestling Girls Twitch tomorrow at 7 p.m. I don't want to tell you what we're talking about yet because it's a good time. I'm going to sign you off with a clip about me talking about how nobody can take Obafemi down. And I will see you lovelies later. Bye. Think that any African American or anybody even of Latino descent, because shout out to Dominic and Driving Lee, and even Damian Priest had it at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Damian Priest was also the North American champion at one point. And look at where he is now. He's senior Money in the Bank, an undisputed tag team champ. Look at what all these accomplishments can do for somebody with the North American championship. So let's not think about it as they don't want to give us anything but that. Let's think about it as this is a stepping stone. And it should be treated like a stepping stone. Y'all, like, you don't understand right now, WWE's in a place where they're fighting to put respect on all their belts.